Hey there, this is a day one of my signature program on AI, machine learning, data science, generative AI, and agentic AI targeted for the architects, the developers, the administrators, security professionals, project manager, program manager, anyone who wants to upskill and build their career in AI in order to get a highly paid job in these domains as well. So first, let's begin with what you're going to expect in this day one of the session, and then I'm going to do and also give you some tips so that you can make best out of this training program as well. Now, we'll first 40 to 45 minutes, I'm going to talk about this whole entire framework, also the pros and cons and how we teach in a particular manner. Now, though if you can skip that part, but I'll highly recommend you to watch that first 40-45 minutes because there are some interesting questions and we take these things in a particular order, so it'll be helpful for you why we do in those order as well, so it's always good as well. We'll also talk about the job roles, different type of job roles depending on your background, so you can learn, it'll be beneficial for, and then also some of the other things which will be relevant and important for you too. So once I've given the explanation about the whole program, what you should be doing and why you should be learning and in that particular model, I'm going to bring an expert and she's going to talk about the getting started with basic concepts like AI, machine learning, what a machine learning model look like, what is deep learning and how deep learning is different from traditional machine learning. Then we're going to look at the generative AI and the difference between the traditional way and generative AI that came into there as well. Then we're going to look at or compare this AI, machine learning, deep learning, generative AI, these concepts, and briefly touch base with AWS or deployment of those, or what the common services on a high level on AWS cloud as well as Azure cloud. And for now, for this particular session, we're going to go very 30,000 foot view, and in the subsequent lessons, we are going to, or subsequent videos, we're going to go deeper into these topics as well. Now, this is the video clip. I'm recording this as of July 2025, and the session has been taken from June 2025, which is a month back, and since then we got tons and tons of feedback. So in the next one, what's coming on for you, which you can stay or subscribe to this channel, is that, hey, what are the entire AI project lifecycle, the prompt engineering, things like RAG, LangChain, LangGraph, agentic AI, what an AI agents, agent types, agentic AI, the entire AI lifecycle, including the no-code, low-code tools for the entire agentic AI as well. Also, you'll be getting this whole roadmap, including learning path for agentic AI. So that's being added based on the feedback in the last 1 month itself, because AI is changing very frequently. Also, then apart from that, we also looked at you might have seen or aware of the concept of DevOps. On the similar lines, the ML Ops is also hugely popular. So in DevOps, traditionally you'll be doing CI and CD. Now in ML Ops, there is an additional part which is CT, which is a continuous training as well. So CI, CD, and CT. So that's where you'll be learning, or you should be learning, the machine learning operations ML Ops stack as well. So that's also probably coming, including the hands-on labs as well. Now, other important thing we've realized based on helping thousands of individuals like you is that the 3 top cloud providers are there. It's AWS, Azure, and Google. So we'll be also learning not only AWS and Azure was already there, which was things like Bedrock, SageMaker, Amazon Q, and including certifications for AI related to AWS cloud. Also for Microsoft Azure, there's Azure AI Foundry, Machine Learning Work Studio, and the certifications on AI/ML on Azure cloud. This is already there, but a lot of you guys were demanding and looking for the GCP, so that's also coming with a Google AI Studio as well as Vertex AI, which is on Google Cloud itself, Vertex AI. So what that Vertex AI is, Model Garden, etc., including the Google's machine learning model, which is a Gemini, as well as Gma. What's the difference between those as well? So that's probably coming. Now, if you are interested to know a little bit more deeper into after watching this day one, the 3-step framework, exactly what we cover. There's a free class which I run, and I run these probably on a weekly basis or sometime more frequently. So you can check out below the description, which is on k2academy.com/AI02. Just click the link in the description or first comment. You'll be able to access this. And if you're coming first time and wondering who am I, my name is Atul. I have close to 2.5 decades of IT experience. I've also worked with a couple of these, multiple of these clients based in UK, across globe. But what's most important is I was once exactly like you, would have gone from earning less than $100 a month to then earning £425 a day to 500, 700, 900 in excess of those now here in the UK. So check out the link description. Also, some of the videos that you're going to see inside this video might be edited because of the privacy reasons. So just bear with us. But if you have any questions, leave a comment, and based on the comment or feedback, what you want to see next, I'm going to create more videos around that as well. So that's coming. Just have a look at it and give me the feedback as well. So let's go straight into the video now from here. Hi everyone, brilliant. I'm based in London. I would love to know, introduce yourself, where you're tuning in from. I'll be first 15 or probably 30, 40, 1 hour or so to set the scene, how you can make best out of the program. There's a team does, but I got motivated, inspired. Usually I come on and off. But I'll be there in entire journey over the next 1 year with you for those who have recently joined or you've already part of, you already been knowing. So quick housekeeping first of all, you all are muted from our side, but you have an ability to unmute. This is going to be much more fun. Not if you attended our free master classes there you are muted, but here you're not. But I also want everyone to respect each other's time. Also not to interrupt instructor or trainer the bit in the middle. At each logical point, we'll be taking questions. For some reason, because of the time constraint, we can't take your question. I would assure you that before the next class, your all the questions will be answered either here or in via the WhatsApp group or ticketing system, but we'll make sure that your question get answered. You'll be at each logical point, trainer is going to unmute, ask questions, we can discuss, so you don't need to worry about at all. As I said that start as well, that my minimum is 5 times of your investment return back, and you can get up to 10 times as well. I rather do promise less and deliver more. That's my objective going to be, and for us as well. Another thing is we'll walk you through in terms of what you expect today, and then in the program as well. Just another bit is that you have unlimited retake over the next 1 year. So you can come back again and again on the program, and we'll have multiple things so that you will see multiple sessions, multiple batches, multiple times with multiple instructions, different backgrounds. So your everything that you need is covered here. And something is missing because AI is changing very fast. So we're bringing more and more things that you will see, even if you've not promised, even if you've not said that we are going to deliver that. If that is required, we will make sure that we deliver that. So new things are coming, agentic AI, all the other things, AI for project manager, program managers, or something that we said which didn't promise, but we think it's required, we'll bring that as well. So you don't need to worry about anything. You don't need to go anywhere else. Everything that you require is here. If you need something, if you think is missing or gap, just highlight to us. We'll make sure that we bring the expert as well. I would love everyone to introduce yourself, where are you tuning in from, which country, also what your background, 1 or 2 lines background, and 1 line about what is the main objective, just one main objective, a bit very, very specific in terms of by when you want to achieve that, and and the timeline. So very specific, so that you can say, yes, you have achieved it or not, so that we don't leave you around that. So we'll read out some messages. I'll bring you again. We'll have some more questions at the logical point, but would love to know your background and so on, because that way my team will maintain a record your history and will tell you as well. So guys, you don't need to worry about fireflies or note taker. We will take care and we'll share the notes as well. So Simi is from Atlanta, USA. Brilliant, Simi. Just let us know what your background is and what you're expecting from this program, so that based on your program is so comprehensive. We'll see that you don't need to do everything. I was just speaking to Mohammed just now before this, before we started recording this, saying that go with 80-20, which means 80% result by putting 20% effort. And I'm a firm believer in that. That doesn't mean that we're going to do any shortcut or leave things, but I want you to focus on what your main objective is. Someone wants to become an AI developer, focus on development related tasks. Someone wants to become a project manager. We will, some things will be always common for everyone needs to learn. And that's what we're going to begin with first. So something that is common to everyone, I want everyone to attend, but then we're going to divert into, if you're a project manager, program manager, you still have to understand the coding or program, not coding, but what are the libraries and framework are required. But I don't want you to code. You go on different directions. Same thing is if you're an administrator, understand how the Python works and libraries, frameworks, how to deploy, but you don't need to learn how to code because you're not a developer. But it's understanding that concepts are very, very important. But if you're a developer, go in and out of development. Similarly, if you're more an operations person, more an architect person, you need to understand architectural designs. We'll see that. If you are an administrator, you focus more on a deploying the application, deploying AI machine learning models, maintaining them, securing them, and so on. So different background, different things. We'll cover everything that you need to understand. Okay. So Dipti from New Jersey, USA. Again, Dipti, your background, 1 or 2 line background on what your expectation is. Uh, Thank you, Semil. Next, Okay. SOCMED. I'm not sure if it's real name, but if it is, apologies for that because for not pronouncing correctly. Amazing current effort. You might be right. Everything is absolutely. Thank you very, very much. I'll show it to you in a minute as well. Healthcare background, Simi. Brilliant. I think there are lots and lots of projects happening in healthcare, fintech, pretty much every domain that you see, but we'll bring some experts who are working in healthcare domain, in AI, and how to do some projects, but we'll do it to, once we understand the basic concepts as well. Shivan, USA lead DevOps, expecting to become MLOps. So Shivan, we already have a dedicated full-fledged MLOps program inside that, and MLOps tools are evolving. So you will see that. Understand, but first of all, machine learning, Python and machine learning concepts. We are going to go depending on which program you're part of. I'll explain you. We're going to go AWS specific MLOps tools, Azure specific MLOps tools, or open source specific MLOps tools as well. You'll in for a treat. Chris, Texas, hands-on AI ML, trying to understand AI ML concepts. You will understand all these things. So there's SageMaker, Bedrock, Amazon Q, but also if you're new to AWS, make sure that you understand the AWS cloud concepts, which we'll see, because not just these 3 or 4 services, AI ML services that you're going to see will be dependent on other things like storage, networking, compute, security, monitoring, management, and so on. And those will come handy. GB Semi, expecting to understand everything concerning AIML. Yes, you will learn everything AIML, but as things are changing, new things are coming. But keep an objective and saying what is the main goal and achieve that goal while you're learning and understanding these things. Chris, welcome here. No worries, Chris. Riaz, to learn AI ML MI ecosystem. Those who have not introduced, please, guys, do that because that will help me to understand my team as well. I'll explain you so that we can track, we can maintain the progress diary. That way, you can make us accountable, make my team accountable, and we make you accountable. The reason why people don't get a result is because of consistency, focus, accountability, and these are all of those things are here. We'll explain you as well. Welcome, Venkat. Hamid, welcome here. Brilliant. Engineering manager for of one of the big fours. Brilliant. Learn AI/ML job, security upward. Brilliant. You're getting all of those. So I'll come back again on introduction and I'll go a little bit deeper. But first, let me share my screen. I think, are you guys seeing my screen? I think you can see my screen, correct? Just confirm.
Yes, sir, it is all
Okay,
Yes.
brilliant.
visible.
So this is again, as I said, first I'll explain you the course walkthrough introduction, then a brief idea about jobs, roles, and responsibilities, and you will see tons as we move forward. And then I'm going to bring an expert, Sonal. She is going to give you the basic idea about today is going to be about brief about basic concepts. And then next week, because of Eid is there, we probably am taking a day off or week off, that particular week off because majority of my team are taking and they're working very, very hard. But that doesn't mean that you should stop working. We'll give you enough work to keep you busy. And then I think 15th we'll be starting our Python, which is important. Even if if you're not a developer, I would highly recommend you to attend that Python, not from a coding or programming background point of view, but from understanding the libraries, frameworks, the concepts, and we'll keep it high level. But then later we'll go more advanced that you're going to see that in a minute as well. So this is what I always mention. Some of you guys attended the free class, but I'm going to reiterate this that below layer cloud, everything and why you need to understand you don't need to become a cloud expert to get a job in AI machine learning. Am I going fast or is it okay? Just put in the chat window. Am I okay? Am I going too fast or is it all okay? Let me
I
know if
think you
because I speak very fast, so pace is fine. Okay. If I go fast, let me know. Stop me, please. Okay. Yeah. So I was talking about us saying is that uh, why you need to understand. You don't need to become an expert or on cloud, but basic idea about underlying infrastructure because later you're going to do you will require data uh, engineering or bringing a lot of data for AI machine learning. That data needs storage. That processing requires compute. So cloud layer. Now, some of you guys are already part of my cloud program. Those of you are not, you don't need to worry about the basic cloud knowledge we have given you as a bonus class. And in future bonus classes, we'll explain you, invite you um, about these whenever we have the more bonus classes about cloud, but you already have the cloud basics inside the program. Similarly, data is required because in AI or machine learning, data, as you know, is key. So data in terms of bringing the data from different sources, the data concepts, structured, unstructured, semi-structured, and so on. You'll be getting that as well, data for beginners. And of course, AI and machine learning, beginner level concepts everyone should be aware of. Things like the basic LLMs, foundation model, what is deep learning, what is LangChain, what is RAG, uh, agentic AI, um, and so on. All the concepts, prompt engineering, AI for project manager, program manager. We are going to cover all those things. And then we have on AWS, Azure, and then we have open source as well. Some of you guys part of entire AI/ML track, which is really, really beneficial because we are not going to leave anything unturned here. Some of you guys said, I'm not ready right now for entire AI/ML track. I just want to focus on AWS or Azure specific AI services. You'll be getting respective. Those who are part of both AI and ML, you'll be getting more in-depth, more advanced things, but also entire MLOps track, a lot of other services that you're going to see, and some of the DevOps part as well. So where are you going to see all this? I think you all of you already have part of this portal, which is K20 Academy, k20academy.com/community. On the onboarding time, I'll explain you if some of you missed where that onboarding is, but this is where the community is. You should all have access. And then once you have access to this portal, you should already have, you can ask questions, discuss with each other, meet friends. It's like a Facebook, but a trimmed down version of the Facebook. Not really Facebook, but the community where you'll meet others and so on. Also, this is where you have classroom. This is where you will have everything that you'll require. Couple of tips I will give you. So you should all be going through this AI machine learning generative AI for beginners. There's a videos available. There's a basic concepts available. If you're a project manager, program manager, we did a session earlier, probably around 2 hours class for a project manager, program manager. The guy from Australia, he's working as an AI project manager, managing some projects. We are going to bring him back once we explain the concepts. But then we are going to bring other experts in the domain like leadership roles, architecture roles, developer roles, MLOps roles, the guys who are in the ground who are working. Uh, Almost every trainer who comes and going to teach you are already in the real field working, and they're teaching as a passion because they love and enjoy what they're learning and implementing. So you'll be listening and hearing from real world experts. We'll also bring someone who is not into teaching but they're working, and we'll see that what they're doing so you can see both the experiences as well, so you'll understand this part. So classroom, then there are beginner level classes. Make sure you understand those beginner level classes or go through them. This is a bonus classes which we'll be inviting, we'll be talking about. Two important things which I will highly recommend you to go. Interview preparation may not be immediately. If those of you are looking for interview job, we'll have a separate session. You will see uh, so weekends, you will be having the sessions. We'll also bring some projects during the weekends. Weekdays where you'll have interview preparation and resume preparation, LinkedIn preparation. And those of you who are looking for job promptly, I'll explain you how you can begin starting early as well. We'll talk about that as well in a minute. Just remind me about it. Okay. So LinkedIn and interview preparation, these are the two things that you'll be working. Now, this is where all your so, the classes, all those things, the videos, recording, everything will be under classroom. Explain you how to reach out to there. But the main important is calendar. This is where you will have the sessions. Now, you may not have access to all the calendars depending on which program you're part of. You will have access to that because this is where we run our cloud data, AIML, a lot of other programs as well. So for example, this is where you have resume. This is where you will have access to resume preparation session um, as well. So here, this is another session that happened. Oh no. So this is June. This is June. This is my London time. So we have another session coming on 4th of June for resume preparation. You can jump onto these. So I think every probably Friday we have these sessions, but there will be different timings as well. There will be Python classes and other classes as well. Yeah, so that's pretty much from a portal. I'll go deeper if required for someone. Now, this is a three-step framework, as I said at the start. So you'll get all of them. It's not just technical. Technical is important. You will learn everything in and out about the topic, but you'll also do project work. We'll do extensive project work, but you'll also want you to bring your own project. So if you're implementing a project, you need help, bring those projects. We'll also be doing resume, LinkedIn, tech interviews, interview jobs, mock interviews, everything that you'll be needing. Any questions so far, guys? So far, any question, let me know, please. Because as I said, I don't want, just wanted to bring everyone the same pace.
So far, so good.
Okay, great. Thank you, Grace. Haven't used mock-up interviews. No worries, Grace. You will have entire 1 year. We've just started. Brilliant. Thank you. Good. Okay, so this is, but you have access to, just wanted to let you know. Also, this is a three-step framework or the three challenges I said when I say about earning that much salary. Now, this we say people not confident. So we'll take you from confident, no confident to confidence, no interview calls or multiple job offers. I just want very quickly, is it which one do you need the most help? If you have to pick only one, is it one, two, or three for now? Two, give me two options for now to begin with. Is it one, two, or three? Let me look at the chat window again. One, two, or three? One and two. Brilliant, Hamad. Guys, there are more than this. Interaction should be more. One and three. Okay, Krish. Krish, whenever you're ready for mock, we can begin with mock. Okay. But before that, we need to see your resume. Okay, one and two. One. Brilliant. So one will be covered here. Okay. Superb. Superb. Okay. Yeah. So again, as I said, this is a tried and tested. This, as long as you're putting input, you'll 100% get results. Shrija got a job in Canada. I don't want to repeat again and again, but this is, we have hundreds of them. I've removed all of them. Just few landed a job in AIML in Canada. Shovik, enterprise architect. And this is the job roles we are going to look at on a high level. We'll go deeper into all of these. So leadership L. Management M, I want you to type message because I'm going to record that. So Priya, make a note of this, take the question answers, and then C, we'll go roadmap based on that, and we'll tell team these are specific guys, which one. And you can pick more than one. You don't need to stick to one only. You can write as many, but we are going to cover all of them. But I want you to stay focused on one or max two to begin with. Leadership roles, management roles, architect or roles A, E for engineer, D for development, or O for operations, so that we can focus and we can align based on the similar lines for this group. L, okay, leadership, management, brilliant. M&A. So for those who are managers, there's a session about project manager, program manager. Will be inviting you. For those who are architects, covered. We'll be going deeper. Engineers, we are going to cover there. M&A. Okay. A, M&A. Okay. L, leadership. A lot of leadership. Development. iPhone, do you mind changing your name? That we would love to know your backgrounds. Otherwise, we'll not be able to track. Team will not be able to track you, and we'll lose your what exactly you said because we don't know whose iPhone is. Yeah. Put your name, change your name, right click on your name, put it against that. Okay, brilliant. So as I said, also I'm so confident. Initially, we had a 60 days money back guarantee, and a lot of guys were feeling overwhelmed that they were not able to complete the 60 days or all the hands-on lab and project work. So you don't need to stress out anything. We've extended that to 6 months, which is way more than enough to get you result, both in terms of you completing the hands-on lab, the project work, or applying. But in order, a lot of guys come and say, oh, they don't know to do the work. I told you earlier as well, don't join the program if you're not ready to do the work. How to make it fun, easy, simple? It's my responsibility, but you need to do the work. And 6 months, make sure that you complete the hands-on lab and the project work. But please don't take that as an excuse that I have 6 months when you can get the result quickly. Why to delay your result? So please work with my team, and we'll tell you how you can get result quickly. If you want to take it relax, quick, easy, that's also fine. Then you can take your time. You have entire 1 year with us for you to get the result as well. Now, with that, we'll job roles and responsibilities. I'm not going to go deeper right now. As once you understand the concept, we are going to pick up on point. Or maybe if someone wants to know about, we'll go on these roles and responsibilities a little bit deeper side as well. So we'll look at first few sessions are going to be high level, basic understanding concepts, the entire roadmap, the how the AI entire AI implementation high level, machine learning implementations high level, and some of the jobs that we're going to jobs are available. We'll look at those jobs as well based on those as well. So uh, we'll be beginning with, first of all, Python. We initially used to start with other things, and we realized that a lot of guys struggle with Python, less so from a coding point of view. Of course, we'll be focusing on developers and those, but they'll be also useful from a library framework point of view. Now, once you know enough, if you don't enjoy, just let us know. We might move you for other, like if you're like very high senior leadership, what are the libraries, frameworks, why we are using, how we are using. Um, Entire thing about Python we'll be covering. So that will be starting from, I think, after the Eid break, you'll be learning that particular thing. So where this whole machine learning, so that will be not just Python, but machine learning using Python. So it will be not just Python, in and out about machine learning that you'll be learning. So ketonacademy.com/sk/Python self. This is the URL. Team will chat, will put in the group. There's also the previous batch recordings, the sessions, all those things you'll be available there. So you don't need to wait. I will highly recommend you, if you have time, watch those and comment the class, because when you do that, you're going to learn a lot. Um, and you will ask more intelligent questions. Now, we also have a repeat, which means you can come back again. So please be respectful for the questions and respect others' time. Don't ask questions which are way advanced. If something related to topic, ask. If you have questions related to more advanced, still ask them, but leave it with trainers view on whether they want to answer that then, or maybe towards end or after the class, because we don't do if we don't want people to ask. Sometimes people get confused about too advanced questions as well, may not be good about that as well. Okay, so what to expect? As I said, we are going to entire hands-on lab related to machine learning, on especially about using Python. But you don't need to do, again, as I said, depending on, you may or may not want to understand or do those things depending on your background. So take it with something. It's kind of a buffet. If I like enjoy maybe more on a spicy food, or maybe on a mild, or maybe different flavors, pick what is right for you. But everything that we're going to cover here is going to be useful for you. So we'll cover all these things, all the concepts. There'll be a lot of conceptual things will be important here as well. So those things will be covering as well. Also, those who are part of AI/ML track, you'll get everything. Some people are only part of AWS track, so that's where we're going to cover the AWS AI/ML self. This is one single URL that you need to remember: ketonacademy.com/sk. SK stands for school, and AWS AI/ML self. So this is where you will have the entire things, which I'll explain you. Inside that, you will see AWS everything that you'll need is covered inside this program as well. So what we're going to cover, we're going to cover all the hands-on lab, the AI services, machine learning services, fundamentals, SageMaker, Bedrock, all those things that are required. Now, again, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. You don't need to do all the labs. Um, Begin with what is important for you. Your objective should be, if your objective is to get a job, do that. Focus on that. Again, 80-20 rule: 20% effort, 80% result. That's effort. And eventually, then once you get a job, get work on, get paid to learn. Basically, that's how I see. Now, there are other advanced things which will highly recommend you everyone to go through, which I forgot to mention here earlier. So one thing I want, apart from AI, machine learning, and apart from the basic cloud concepts, always go for do this containers and Kubernetes. Some of you guys are new and say, why I have to do containers and Kubernetes? AI and machine learning models can be deployed on virtual machines, or hardware, but and also the tools itself will have behind the scene, you will not notice, but behind the scene they will use that. But they're also being deployed extensively on containers and Kubernetes. So we're giving that containers and Kubernetes, especially the Docker containerization, those applications and so on, you will see. So this is a beginner, and we'll see some more advanced projects about deploying on containers and Kubernetes on AWS, containers Kubernetes on Azure, and other third-party open source tools as well. We'll be giving you the entire real-time projects, but bring your own projects if you're doing, and all the certifications related to AI, machine learning, foundation, and so on. So from this certification point of view, you'll get the exam questions. Don't buy anything from anywhere. Anything that you don't see, just ask, because everything that you will need is covered in. So you will have the videos, you will have the exam questions, answers of them, explanation, everything about the certifications. You will have all of them. So all these things are inside the portal for you. Same thing we're going to do for Microsoft Azure Cloud, Azure AI/ML self. Same thing, all the hands-on lab, the project work, and the certificates about right from AI 900 to AZ 900, which is Azure Fundamentals, AI Fundamental, but data science, machine learning, AI, and so on. Live sessions are available here. And there are other things which are coming, as we saw. So when we started, I think August, September last year, Agentic AI was not there. So those who have coming old students will be bringing agentic AI, but you guys will be looking at agentic AI as well. There's also added AI for project manager, program managers. We've also done the leadership related projects as well. Now, this is a whole ML ops. Some of guys from operations will be learning those ML ops track. Now, don't feel overwhelmed. Don't feel stressed. The whole thing will be fun. Make it as a learning experience for fun as well. And then, as I said, today we are going to begin with these concepts and other things as well. I'll be opening up a question. Please be generous in asking questions as well. So let me know what questions you guys have and what comes to your mind when I see all these things, because it could be overwhelming, it could be intimidating. Um, so Hamad is saying, what is the best time to start looking for getting certification while taking this course? So Hamad, what is your unmute yourself? What is your main objective? What do you want to achieve? What is the main objective? Yeah.
So just basically job security, everybody's getting into AI.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Also looking into getting into AI roles
Mm-hmm.
in the next six
Okay.
months or so.
Okay. So your objective is to get a job, right, in AIML?
Yes,
Okay.
that's the main. Yeah,
Okay. And in order to achieve that, do you think you need to get you need to be certified?
that I don't know. I need help on that
Yeah.
guidance. On that,
Okay.
right.
So good. So in order for you to, I just want to highlight, in order for you to get certified, sorry, in order for you to get a job, certification is not important. If your objective is to get a job, I'll tell you, because I've highly recommend you to, first of all, yesterday, those who was there on day before yesterday on Friday, call interview prep call with no, yeah, question answers with me. Where what is the name of the guy? Gagan got a job recently. Anyone from this group? Say yes
Yes,
or
I
no.
was I was there. Yeah,
Sorry, who's this?
Chris.
Chris. So, do you understand? Did you learn from that session something?
I did. Yeah, yeah, I
Okay.
did.
So, what do you have to say to Hamid, if you, based on what you learned from that session for Hamid?
Well, with Gagan, he really took his time and learned the process, and he took his certifications and everything. Just so I mean, his wife was very helpful. He told
Mm.
him, don't do your Uber, don't do nothing, just stay home and study." And he did everything, and then he landed a pretty good job.
Yep.
With that. So that's the route he took. But I also remember that you also drilled in for us that um, it's not necessarily trying to get everything in place first before applying for jobs, but you can actually start, interviewing for jobs while you're learning, and
Correct.
then yeah.
So, yeah, good point, Chris. So, I'll explain you, Hamid. This is useful for everyone as well. So, while you're doing if you go to the interviewer and interviewer says to you that, hey, you got two guys, one guy is certified but not worked on, not done the hands-on lab, not done the project work. Second person has um, done not done the certification, but the person has done the hands-on project, and he or she can answer the questions. Which one will you hire, Hamad?
The one with the hands-on experience, because he
Brilliant.
has the theoretical and the practical
Yeah.
knowledge.
Because we are short on time. When I say short on time, of course you have entire 1 year, not a problem. But if your objective is to get a job, I'll focus on, because focus, there are two important things. Focus and consistency are very important. Focus and consistency. Time, because we are busy, everyone is working. I'm assuming most of you guys are working. So we only have 24 hours. Out of 24 hours, we need to sleep, we need a family, we need to other things as well. So we get 3 to 4 hours max. So if I have only 3 to 4 hours, my objective will be so first of all, I will be what I would do, and of course, do what you think is right for you or what things work for you. But I'm going to go to this classroom and I'll go and learn, understand the basic concepts about AI and machine learning for beginners. This concepts, what is LLM, what is foundation, what is RAG, what is LangChain, what is agentic AI, what is MCP, all those things. What are these basically libraries? Not becoming an expert, but enough for me so you can answer. At least I know what companies can ask. Okay. Second thing I'm going to go and look at is what are the job roles are available? What are the type of jobs I'm going to get? What are the terminologies from a AI machine learning in services that I need to know on a high level? And that you can do it in probably 1, 2, max 3 weeks. Once I know that, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to the interview preparation session. And here I'm going to go and look at first two things, step one and step two, how to search for the jobs, how to apply for the jobs. Just search and apply. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the job portal, everything that they're looking. Where are you based, Ahmed?
I'm based in Houston,
Okay,
Texas.
US, yeah. And
Yes.
what kind of a job role you're looking? Just what your background is? What type of
Um,
jobs?
I am looking for mainly, I guess, leadership, not too technical.
AI
Just like
for example, AI for project manager or
uh,
technical program manager or leadership. What?
program manager, yes.
Yeah,
That
okay.
that could be.
AI. Okay, so then program manager jobs in USA. Okay. And again, of course, what to search, they'll be different. I'm just giving a further shortcut to that. Okay. So I'm going to look at, if you see now, senior manager, this, take an example of this. Okay. Senior manager, I'll pick up this, I'll open
Sir,
this.
your screen is not visible.
Oh, sorry. Thanks for highlighting this. Sorry, my mistake. Thank you. So if you see now, if a screen AI project manager program is for USA, of course, we're going to give you other tips and where to find the job portal. I'm just giving a shortcut here, but you'll go indeed in other places. So I'll click on these two jobs. First job is about, I'll go and say, so I'm going to look at what they're asking for. They're all looking for me um, understanding of AI concepts with GenAI platforms. I'm looking for GenAI platform, OpenAI, Hugging Face, Azure, OpenAI. So I'll go to look this, what are the interfaces or things. Then 1 second. Look at what all these things they're doing or what they're asking. And then I'll prepare resume exactly as it is what they're asking about. How to prepare the resume, how to get it reviewed. All those things are inside this program. And then I'll also go to LinkedIn. I'll update my LinkedIn on some of the tips. There are ChatGPT prompts. I'll prepare my LinkedIn also with kind of a job I'm planning to do. And make yourself, it should look like you already know these things. You've been doing this for quite some time now. Okay, now every day, then I want you to start applying and go for. So what will happen is that when you're doing that, and so you do those things, and then you to go and you will get an interview call. If you follow the path or process which are mentioned here, you will start getting calls, even if you don't know about those topics, because you've prepared your resume very nicely. If you have not done, if you're not getting interview calls, that means there's something wrong with your resume or LinkedIn. We'll fix that as well. So that also we have a FAQ 3, which we are going to do here. Um, so once you've done that, you'll get interview call. And if you get interview call, come back to us support channel and say, hey, I'm getting interview call, how to prepare for the interview, for this particular interview. We'll give you kind of interview questions you can expect based on the job description. We'll do also some mock interview schedule for you, and you will go and you will fail on that interview. Okay, you know, and I know you don't have enough knowledge right now, so you'll fail, which is totally fine. But on that failure, you will learn a lot in terms of what companies are expecting from you. You'll make yourself comfortable. You'll have a habit of writing resume and so on. You'll prepare LinkedIn and a resume. Now, we're going to do the same thing next week, and that will happen for 4, 5, 6 interviews. You'll fail. But from sixth or seventh interviews, you will start getting a hang of that. You will know what companies are expecting in leadership roles, whether you have that or not, and you will come into the program focusing on those things while you're learning all those things, parallel learning on that. And so whatever you're learning, you'll continue learning. You do that, and if and if and when if you get time, then I'm going to prepare for certification. The reason being is that in certification they will ask a lot of questions that you will not be using in that particular job role. Okay, they ask too many questions or too many things which they want you to cover overall knowledge, and I'm not against that. We will achieve that over the next 1 year, but I want you to win first, have some quick wins as well. Okay, and then on the remaining time we'll do get. So that's exactly what I mentioned to Gagan. Yeah, and there are tons of guys, everyone, I recommend that. So what happened was Gagan was preparing for that and he joined in, I think, September, October, and by November, December month and January first week, second week of January, people don't hire or recruitment kind of a freezes. So he used those 2 months to prepare for the certification then, because no hiring from 15th of December to 15th of January was almost dead. But he was using the same method, and once and then I think in January, February, he started actually applying for this job. So you have that approach, which I mentioned, or you say, no, this approach doesn't I don't enjoy, because some people don't feel nervous, and some people don't feel comfortable. You want to learn, and you go to get certification first, and then go for a job application. That's also totally fine. But I would suggest, if you're looking for job quickly, the first approach which I mentioned will help you as well. Okay. Now ask me what questions and doubts you have in that mind.
Atul, may I
Yep.
ask you a question?
Yeah, Krish, just
Okay.
1 second. Yeah, I've totally read your point, but I'm going to pick first,
Okay.
and we'll come back to your question as well. So on this point, first of all, Hamid, do you have any questions, or anyone have any questions related to that? Hamid, am I
No,
making
this
sense? And again, if you
absolutely.
don't agree, that's totally fine, because there is no right or wrong. This is based on what I worked for me for getting result quickly, but not everyone buys that in that feature. Okay.
No, it answers my question. I mean, the
Oh, great.
objective is to get a job, I think. Certifications.
Yeah. And we will
is-
get that certification. You don't need to worry about for certification. Everything is there. But still, some of you guys want to do the certification. There's a AI fundamental certification, which is AI 900, or AI, or maybe just do AWS cloud certification, just some certification to show, if you really want to show them as well. Okay. So Hamad, great. I think, yeah, who was that question next from? Sorry, I missed. Chris, yeah, you were saying something.
Me? It's
Yeah,
Krish.
yeah, Chris, yeah.
Yeah. Jasmine had a question anyway. You can take it after.
I'll
Anyway.
no, I'll take after just minutes. After
Okay,
you.
thank you. Okay. Yeah, my issue is I have a very in-depth understanding of AI, ML, nitty-gritties of everything. I did a year
Brilliant.
and a half course. Very familiar with every nitty-gritties of the models behind and everything. I've done
Mm,
everything manually, all the way from data collection, cleaning,
super.
pretty good with Python coding. I can create models, I can create chatbots, all those. What I
Mm-hmm.
don't have is how to deploy it. That's why I
Mm.
joined this program where I want to use the AWS services, right?
Okay, brilliant.
But I started getting, based on what I've already done, I started getting, interview calls, but I'm not confident enough to say that, yes, I know all these things, but I've not used it in the AWS platform or GCP, right?
Mm.
So it's just much easier for me. So that's one of my motivations. Is it too early for me to take those interview calls? Because I guess I cannot overstretch myself because I've not done the deployment. I've not done the CDCI, right? Yeah,
Mm. Okay. So, Krich, first of all, you don't need to be in an interview when you go. Be open and transparent. Say, I have done everything. I know in and out, but it's just CI/CD I've not done, or deployment I've not done. But I'm a quick learner. I can pick up if the interview comes, if the job demands, because there are a lot of jobs that doesn't even need those CI/CD or deployment. Okay. So, first of
right.
all, if I'm in a place, I would still go and apply for the jobs, and of course,
Okay.
but if it's just about deployment, I would suggest connect with my team, open a ticket. We'll give you a quick deployment on how to deploy on SageMaker, for example. Okay, or
Yeah.
build an
Yeah.
application, pick an application, so that you stop that fear about, because then it'll open up.
Right.
Once you do that, you will see something else is missing, and then you open.
Right.
Unless you, my view would be, I will. What you know is more than enough in my view, Chris, to begin with. Okay, you can start applying for the jobs. Remaining now, you good point. You've identified the gap, rather than listening and waiting for that session to come where we have deployment, rather than it'll come probably after maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't know the actual schedule. But if I'm in a place, I will jump on deployment lab and work on that. If you're doing a deployment lab and something is not clear, then ask and say, what is the prerequisite for that? Everything will be written in that
Right.
guide. Okay, so maybe create a model, and then maybe create a account. All those things will be there, but it's covered.
Right.
So I would, if I'm in a place, I would apply for that and be confident. I think the guys who are successful and not successful in the interviews are those who feel confident in themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll come
Yeah.
into the interview. Okay. So you to
Right.
remove, trust me, sometime we know a lot more than others. And I realized that late in my life career, where
Right.
I was pretty
Right.
good, damn good compared to a lot of guys. And trust me, I saw, and in the project as well, when I go, uh, less so now, but in my first 10, 15 years, the guys who were in the project were working as an architect knew nothing about where I was working as an just an implementation on those architectures. I used to
Right.
recommend and suggest them. So Chris, you have everything. Go confidently, in my view. And then in those interviews, come to us and say, oh, this is the gap, so that we can help you quickly. Yeah. Make
Okay. Yeah.
sense?
As just to add like
Sure.
another
Yeah, sure.
comment, like I've
Yeah.
done everything manually for data cleaning and everything. I'm pretty damn good at it. Right.
Hmm.
I've done chatbot myself. Right.
Superb.
It's all great, but I
Ah,
don't have the confidence saying that I'm completely familiar with AWS services, right? But it's much easier for me, like to do a ISNA or anything. I just click
Hmm.
where I have
Hmm.
to write code, right?
Hmm.
So I'm on that 90% level. That 10% confidence is lacking. I take your suggestion that I'll raise a ticket and see how I can be confident independent of the deployment, right? The platform. The platform is
Absolutely.
not, I'm not aware, but I
Also,
know the theory, everything behind it. Yeah.
Chris, it's platform is very easy to learn if you understand the concepts, if you know the basics. Okay,
Yeah,
that my
it looks
team will
so
help you.
simple. Yeah.
Yeah, no, no,
Yeah.
it is indeed. Once you know the concepts, okay, and anything that is not clear, ask. But having said that, you need to remove from your mind saying that you are not confident. You have to remove that you don't know this because you know a lot which companies are still craving for, and they know and being transparent. I'll give you again Gagan's example. We'll bring that, though that was for Microsoft Azure cloud, but the same concept are applicable. So he knew a lot of things, but the interviewer asked, "Hey, how about governance in Active Directory, which Entra ID, which is in Microsoft Active
Hmm.
Directory implementation on cloud?" He was very open and
Right.
transparent and say he told him, "Look, I've not done an production kind of implementation. I've not done the governance, but given a chance, if I get a chance, I'll be able to pick that." He's very open and transparent, and then employers know that a person don't know everything, and they know if you know the concepts, picking and implementing that into Azure cloud or AWS cloud or any cloud is not that difficult. Okay, once you get a platform, so be open and transparent. Worst case, what will happen? They will not give you interview.
Right.
Anyway, you're not got an interview anyway, right? If you don't apply, right? And then
Right. Is it a
yeah,
handicap? Sorry to interrupt you. Is it a
no, no.
handicap saying that I'm not very familiar with the platform and the AWS services, but I know every bit of what it does, right? And yeah.
Okay, but why? Okay, if you are stuck in that point when you feel now they are aware, why you need to open up the dirty laundry? Why you need to say that? Oh, I don't know, unless you are in that situation. I'm saying,
Right.
why to be so open upfront when maybe they're not
Okay.
even looking for that particular thing. Okay, I mean,
Probably. Yeah.
yeah. So why you? So my point is, if they ask you specifically, then be open and transparent. I'm saying you don't need to shout out saying I don't know this.
Yeah, they're not
Yeah,
asking for platform specific information. They're saying
yeah,
data engineering,
yeah.
modeling,
Yep.
deployment. That's all they're asking. They're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
asking about, do you know AWS, do you know
And I,
GCP? They're not asking
no,
any of that. Yeah.
yeah. So Chris, maybe if you give it just a week, maybe do one or two implementations of deployment,
Okay.
at least let me clear that fear as well. Because I think you
Okay.
know a lot more than a lot of other guys, so you should be applying for that. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
So I don't
Okay.
want to
No
take up
worries.
your time.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Thanks. No worries. Thanks. Jasmine, if you were to start a company, I think the biggest hurdle you will be looking at is how to get clients. Okay. The client is the most important thing. If you want, I can tell you, starting a company is very easy, especially where are you, Jasmine? Can you unmute yourself? And come speak to me after this class as well, because it's not for everyone. That's why I want to keep it short and quick to the point. If you're here, unmute yourself if you can. I just want to know where you're based. Okay, I'll give you a very quick tip, Jasmine. The important point is not about starting companies. Very simple. Getting work. Sales is the most important thing. And how you can sell is because by showing whatever you're implementing, that's in the program here as well for you. And this is not just for if you're working as a company, your own company, but you are working as a kind of a selling yourself. So on LinkedIn, whatever you're presenting, publish, publish the content, share the problems that you're doing. So whatever you're learning, again, I explained in the Friday session with Gagan and everything, how it and towards and we covered that point. Everything that you're doing the work and see the Google's profile as well on LinkedIn profile. So you show saying that what kind of a work have you implemented. Don't show it as a learning. Show it and saying that this was a problem. This is how you resolved. And anyone need any help like that, come and speak to us. That's how you're going to be just Jasmine. We'll cover that, explain separately. Come and speak to me. We'll have a quick call on this. Or if anyone else is interested, then I'll probably open up this starting a company. Okay. Um, so as I said again, show them the problem statements what client might be facing because every client looking for that implementation, they need trust, saying that you can deliver the project, you have capability. Show them those, and then client will follow. Okay, okay, Chris, I've covered that. Hamad, Jasmine, I was. Oh, look, Chris, brilliant. So superb. Thank you, Chris, for supporting. Chris, do you mind sharing your LinkedIn profile so Jasmine can connect? Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Okay, superb. Okay, Sonam is here. No worries, Supriya. Thank you very much. So, Sonam, do you mind introducing and just quickly introduce yourself? Sonam, this is Atul here.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
let,
Atul, can you hear
yeah,
me?
yes, yeah. Sonam is an expert. She's been teaching and training. We got the most excellent feedback. from Sonam. She's going to cover. I'll be away, but I'm on a WhatsApp group. You don't need to worry or stress anything. As I said, welcome to the program. How many guys are new here and saying first time attending this session? Anyone have attended? So, oh, Chris, you have already attended Sonam's session. Yeah, Sonam is amazing. We are going to cover the basic fundamental concepts, and we'll be bringing her back as well. New first time. Hamad is first time. Sean is first time. First time. Everyone is first time. Okay, a lot of guys are first time. Okay, Sonam, just 1 or 2 minutes. Introduce yourself if you don't mind.
Sure, sure. Hey guys, Sonam here, and I have more than 30 years of experience, IT experience, and currently working as a consultant for AWS and other technologies. So have done almost 9 certifications on AWS. Relevant to this course is AI practitioner, ML associate, and ML specialty. So I'm certified in all these three certifications on AWS. And more about me, you will come to know as we progress with the course. Hope you all can see my screen. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all of you, based on your time zone. And welcome all for this course, AWS AI ML Job Oriented Program. I would like to start the course by congratulating yourself because you all have chosen the right course at the right time to accelerate your professional journey. You know that this is the most in demand technology in the market these days. AI ML has become integral part of our day-to-day life. So you cannot just escape from this. Each person should have a knowledge of AI ML. Even a school going kid has the knowledge of AI ML, is using AI ML in one or the other way, right? So same case for ourselves also. Like even though you have any number of years, any years of experience, you are using AI ML. So let's understand what is this all about. Why so much of buzz is there for this AI ML? What is AI? What is ML? What is Gen AI? What is DL? So today we are going to discuss on all these different layers. What circles you can see, we are going to understand the nitty gritty behind that. Okay, so I have already given my introduction. We'll take your intro in the next class. So I welcome to all of you who have joined this course first time, and also I welcome to everyone who are attending this one more time or as a repeated one. So I can see many familiar faces are there here. So I'm so happy to connect with you again, guys, for this particular course. Okay, so let's get started. Let's start with AI. First, we will discuss what is AI. As you all know, AI for artificial intelligence, right? So before I start with artificial intelligence, let us understand what is human intelligence. I'm like discussing or talking about a very basic thing. You might be surprised. What is she talking about, right? Human intelligence. What is it? But let's define it. We know that every one of us has an intelligence, what we call it as a HI, human intelligence. But let us define what is HI. And then let's correlate with AI. Can someone give me the example of human intelligence? Where do we use human intelligence in our day to day life, in our professional career?
We're using it on yeah, everyday life, like we have some emotional awareness or moral judgment, right? So it's an I would say the natural cognitivity of the people.
Okay.
The
Whatever
questioning
Ashok says,
intelligent
whatever we
responses.
think. Okay.
The way
Whatever
the way in which we make decisions.
decision making. Okay. The way how we make a decision. Good. Whatever we are thinking to solve the problems. Good.
Our reactions to situations.
Reaction.
Responses.
Okay. So reaction to situations or the responses. We use it every day in making small to big decisions like driving, cooking. Perfect. Driving, cooking. Everywhere we are using it, right? So now how do you know like how to drive? How do you know like how to cook? What makes you think? What makes you take a decision? What is the influencer? What is the trigger behind that? Hmm?
We first learn.
Okay, learn.
Recollection from memory, past experiences.
Past experience, perfect.
Your environment, your external events.
From past experience. Okay, good. Okay, now let me tell you what is human intelligence. Human intelligence is, like, for example, the way I analyze the thing. Let's say some object is kept in front of me. I say that this object, I label that object. I say this object is a laptop. I say this object is a pen, a mic, a pad, a phone. So basically what I'm doing, I am detecting an object. I have an intelligence to detect an object. I have an intelligence to listen and then to analyze it. Whatever I am listening, let's say now I am saying something, you guys are listening to me, and now what you do, you start thinking about and analyzing the things. So, whatever we speak, now I am talking about AI ML. From where did I get this knowledge? I must have learned. And based on my learning, and based on my experience, and based on my intelligence, I am delivering this session. I am talking here, right? It is not just the learning or not just the experience, it's a blended everything together. I am playing a chess game. I have learned, somebody has taught me, okay, how to play a game. Now, what I'm doing, I'm using my intelligence, my thought, my thinking power to play a game, to define my own strategy, to deal with how the other person is playing. Okay, so I have to take instant decision. Okay, what move the other person is making, and I have to take an instant decision, and I have to accordingly I have to play the game. So what I'm doing, I'm using my intelligence. Now, what exactly we are doing with artificial intelligence? An artificial intelligence is trying to imitate a human intelligence, is trying to replace a human intelligence. But is that possible to replace a human intelligence 100%? Is it possible, guys? Can an AI replace HI 100%?
No.
I
What
don't
is,
think so.
okay, no. How about others? Maybe you can just use some emoji to provide me responses. A human thinking behavior is completely unpredictable, right? So it is not possible for an AI to replace human intelligence 100%, up to certain extent, but not 100%. So that's why AI ML is not 100% accurate. You should never expect that, and it cannot be 100%. It can never be. Anybody expecting 100% accuracy from ML model, that is the person doesn't know, then the other person doesn't know the ML, I would say. Okay, so it is not possible to replace. So exactly why are we using AI then? When we have evidence of intelligence, why do we use AI? What is that? AI giving us or helping us? Okay, Shravan says AI make decisions according to the suggestions defined by HI. Very correct. But why do we use? What is the need of AI when HI is already there? Processing speed in a specific domain. Okay. What else?
Because humans need to rest.
You must need to.
Rest.
Okay, a human need to take a rest. Good point, Chris. Enhance efficiency. Good point. Enhance efficiency. Okay, so take a rest, enhance efficiency, to minimize bias, make objective decision without emotions. Okay, Hamad, that's a very good point. Emotionless. That's a good point. We cannot remove the emotions from HI, but definitely AI doesn't have an emotion. That's a very valid point you have highlighted here. Okay, anything else? Any other point, guys? Why do we need AI can operate around the clock? Yes, very good. That's what Chris has said. We need to take a rest, right? A person can work 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours max. But definitely we need a rest. When we are taking rest, somebody has to work, right? Because now we are working in an era wherein 24 by 7 the work is going on, because we are working in a global market, right? It's not like the local only for certain geographical area we have the customers and we have to support only in that time zone. It is like we have to support in every time zone. So a person has to take rest. Another important point, when there is a human intelligence or when there is a human intervention is there, there will be a little delay is there in the response. Okay, we want to automate the things these days. Like if you see, automate is another buzzword. Everywhere we are using automation. We want a quick result, we want a quick response. In just no time we want a response, right? So for that we need to automate. So for automation also AI is very much in demand. Okay, now what are the use cases of AI, artificial intelligence? Can you guys tell me in your day to day life, what is that you are using? You think that it is AI based? Anything that you are using in your
Chatbot,
day to. Yeah? What did you say?
Yeah,
chatbot.
Chatbot. Perfect. Chatbot. Yeah?
yeah,
Somebody else.
there are a lot of things like we are using the facial recognition in the cameras,
Perfect. Okay.
music, like we are using the Siri, we are using the Alexa. So those all are, based upon AI.
Yes. So
Correct.
as I said before, it has become integral part of our day to day life. We cannot remove AI from our life now. Just like mobile has become. Few decades back in my childhood mobile was not there, but now without mobile we can't just even think. Same thing with our like AI based devices, AI based applications. So it has become part of our day to day life. So these are all now chatbot. It's a virtual assistant. The person doesn't have to be there always sitting in front of the system and supporting you, like how the support guys used to work earlier, right? They used to be there like round shift they used to do, and in like every time zone they used to support for all the time zone. But now because of virtual assistant, it is possible to get a quick response and to get a 24 by 7 support, because the it is actually handled by AI, and we are getting a quick response because we have loaded AI with lots of intelligence. It is basically intelligence, right? So we have loaded with the data so that it can satisfy your requirement, it can satisfy your queries. A person doesn't have to be there, and in no time it can satisfy. The chatbot has become so intelligent. It's not like a basic chatbot. Facial recognition. Airport, you can see it is their facial recognition. You can just in no time you can get, you don't have to open your mobile or show the your boarding pass or something like that, just facial recognition, and that's highly secure also. So from security perspective, as well as to automate the things, these things are, these the AI based applications are there everywhere being used. Alexa, another example. Or for example, recommendation engine. You want to buy something, you're there on amazon.com and trying to buy something, and it is giving you certain recommendation. How this used to happen? See, it's basically all in whatever we used to do in our day-to-day life. It is actually been now taken over by these technologies. Earlier, we never used to have online shopping. If you guys are of 10 plus years experience, 10-20 years, I'm sure you, if you just see a decade or 2 decades back, there was no concept of online shopping. We used to go to shop to do the shopping. We used to take our friend, relative, and they used to be like our personal recommendation engine. A friend or a relative is a recommendation engine. They used to see, okay, this will look good and all. How they used to say that? How they used to recommend us? Because they know our test, right? Accordingly, they used to suggest us. Now the same thing is taken over by the recommendation engine, based on our past purchase, based on our test, because whatever we bought so far, it showcase our test, it showcase our inclination on certain brand, certain price range, and accordingly it will provide us the recommendation, personalized recommendation, not a generic one. Inventory management, inventory optimization. You are running a big business, and now a lot of products you have in your portfolio. How will you keep track of how many products are there left out in the stock, how many products to buy, how many products are sold? It becomes a big task, right? When you are working, when you are there running a big business with lots of products. So AI ML help us in the inventory optimization, solving exam problems for college students. Yeah, correct. Fraud detection. You know, security is so important these days, right? Everywhere, whether you work on a cloud environment, you work on the on-prem environment, security everywhere, in your office premises, at your home, everywhere security is important. The physical security, the digital security, okay? Managing your digital assets, securing your digital assets has become most important compared to the physical security. So fraud detection is one of that. And lots of fraudulent cases are happening. So it has become, because we are more working in a virtual world, right? So fraud are happening virtually. So we need a fraud detection mechanism, and that too in a real time fraud detection. Not like earlier, also fraud detection used to be there, but we were not so much of digitized, we were not in a digital world, right? But now online banking and everything is there on the tip of a finger, everything is there. Our entire uh, finance portfolio is there on our mobile, right? So it's very much required to safeguard it. And that too, real-time transaction monitoring, real-time fraud detection is important. If it takes more time, it's of no use. How is it possible? Automation, and that is possible with AI ML only. We can get the fraud detected as it's happening and can take the action immediately. Yes, disease prediction, very good. Healthcare industry also, it is very important. Okay, tell me guys, if you forget about the AI ML in the healthcare industry, when you go to doctor, you show, let's say you are suffering from something or you're facing some issue, and you're shown, you visited the doctor, and doctor has done the examination, asked you to do certain test, and now how, what the doctor does? Doctor will manually scan your all the tests, let's say CT scan, MRI scan. They will manually look at the scan, and they will generate a report. that doctor used to do, but now that has been taken over by AI ML. So ultimately what is happening? The human intelligence, AI is basically replacing human intelligence but cannot. So many people fear that okay, the job will go off. No, not possible, guys. Humans are like, every human is different. Every human intelligence is different. So AI cannot just replace. Only the thing is that the job role has been changed, but the jobs are there. More jobs, in fact, are created, but the roles, responsibilities are different. So for disease prediction, and it is giving us more accurate prediction, more accurate analysis. Because how is that possible that it is giving us more accurate analysis, more than what a doctor can analyze a report or can analyze a disease, or like more precision? It's giving her more precision. How is that possible, guys? What is that the AI ML has which a doctor doesn't have? What do you think? What is something which is uh, making this as a dominant factor? We are using this in the healthcare industry. More memory and speed access. Yeah, access to more data. Hamad has rightly mentioned it. When we are training the model, now you understood what is AI, right? So AI imitates HI. ML imitates human learning. DL imitates human brain, and Gen AI is the creative side of a human being. Creative side. Okay? Fine. Now you know what is artificial intelligence. Now, how can we use it? How does the AI ML can predict, can do fraud detection, can analyze the patient report? Because we have trained the model to do that. It is all based on the training. We have, the model has learned, the machine learning model has learned to make predictions. The machine learning model has learned to detect the fraud. And how? So for learning, what is required? Even a person, let's say you want to learn something. When you want to upgrade some new skill, what is that required? You would need a data. Okay, a notes, what we call it as a notes, or the data. Whether you watch a YouTube video, let's say you're watching introduction to ML. Okay, intro to ML, a YouTube video. What is that? It's a data ultimately. Or you're reading some document about the ML, again the data. Or you're listening, now you're in a live session, you're listening to me. So I'm saying something, I'm actually giving you a data, right? I'm feeding a data. So data is the most important thing. So what we do, we load the machine learning model with lots of data. We train the model on diverse data, lots of data. A doctor must be having an experience of, let's say a doctor must have seen 1,000 patient or 10,000 patient or 50,000 patient. But the machine learning model, it will have in it is learned on internet scale data. Right? It has learned on internet scale data. So it is like if I talk about healthcare, okay, healthcare industry, wherein it is analyzing a patient report, the AML or ML model is analyzing the patient report. That model has been trained on the data, let's say 1,000 doctor, what, how many patients they have seen, 1,000 doctor, that kind of, I'm just taking a vague number over here, but it could be more than that. 1,000 doctor, on how many patients they have gained the experience over a period of time on the number of patient. That amount of data we are giving to ML model, and the machine learning is learning from that data. So the accuracy, the precision is higher than what a single doctor can provide. Right? Okay. Now, That is Introduction to Artificial Intelligence. Machine learning. A machine learning imitates human learning. Just like how we learn something, we make or we train the machine to learn in the same fashion. Okay? How do we learn? Yeah, guys, how do we learn? We learn by repetition. Okay.
Trial and error.
Trial and error. Perfect. Very good. Trial and error. Training. Very good. There are different modes of learning, right? We learn by attending a training, like basically by listening, by seeing. So we have a visual memory, right? By seeing we learn, by listening we learn, by reading we learn, by experiencing we learn. As you start working on job, you automatically learn as you start working. Nobody is going to sit and teach you. But as you experience, as you fail, as you do something, as you do the hands on, you start learning. So there are different ways of learning. So basically, how a human learn, the same way we are training our machine learning model. We are feeding the data to the machine learning model. Data is very important. We feed the data. And machine learning model will try to extract the essence of the data, so that when new data is given to the model, it will be able to provide you the desired outcome. So machine learning imitate a human learning. I always give this example. When we were toddler, okay, when we were toddler, like a very, very lower class, when we started going to school, how the teacher teaches us. Teacher will say something and will ask us to repeat, or teacher will show some image on the board and will label that image. Okay, this is the image of a apple, or this is the image of a bat, or this is the image of a cat, this is the image of a dog. It is basically we learn by label data. Somebody has labeled it, somebody is showing us, okay, this image is of this particular thing, and we learn. What we call it as supervised learning. We will discuss that later, but it is a somebody supervising us, directing us, showing us, okay, this is this, and we learn. We learn as we grow, as we have grown up, like we go to higher standard, we start understanding the things, and we start by reading, we start understanding, and we start learning. Then in the college, nobody teaches us each and everything. We start referring to multiple notes, internet here and there, and then we start our logical mind develop, and we start thinking it logically, applying logic and understanding the thing. And then after we complete our graduation, on job, on experience based, like out of experience we learn. So these are the different ways. Same thing machine learning model does. Coming to deep learning. As I said, deep learning imitate human brain. Now brain is the most complex thing, complex part in a human body, right? All the complex decisions are actually taken by brain. How is brain being designed? What a brain has. Whenever you are learning something new, your brain, the neurons gets triggered. It becomes active as something new comes. But when you are not learning new, let's say you are driving car since last 20 years. Now tell me, when you drive the car, let's say you are driving car today, you want to go to office, Do you have to really pay attention, focus while you're driving? Do you put 100% attention while you drive? Or what do you do? While driving, exactly, it has become an automated process then. Even if you don't pay attention, automatically your hand moves. You know when to apply a brake, when to use an accelerator, when to use a gear. Automatically it happens. Just just a little focus and it works. And if suppose you're driving on the same road every day, you know, okay, where you have a speed breaker, where you have a pothole, and you don't even have to automatically you will apply a brake because you know that after 50 meter there is a pothole. It has become an automated process. You're actually bypassing the brain. Such automated process are such kind of things we deal in our in this in AIML. It is dealt by machine learning. It is dealt by artificial intelligence. Deep learning not required. But when something new you are learning, like a human brain, when you learn something new, automatically your neuron gets active. You become more focused. It will not be an automated thing. And that's why it is always said like you should never stop learning of whatever age you are. If you are even if you are 80-year-old, you should keep learning so that if you learn something new, your brain neurons gets activated, and you are the mental health, or I can say the not the mental health, your age, you will not be aged. You remain young. Your memory becomes powerful if you keep learning at all the age. So it is human brain has got neurons. It is interconnection of neuron. Likewise, a deep learning has artificial neural network. Our human brain real neurons are there. Here it is ANN. And all the complex problems are dealt with DL. That's why I said it imitates a human brain. Just like a complex problem in a human body are dealt with our brain, same thing here, deep learning. Coming to generative AI, it's the creative side. Creating new content, generating something new for you. That is generative AI. Let's say I'm using Gen AI, asking Gen AI to generate an image for me. A non-existing image. It's not the real image, but it can generate. Whatever I ask, it can generate. It can generate an image, it can generate a text. I can ask Gen AI to write an essay for me. It can do that. I can ask Gen AI to compose a story for me, to give me lyrics for a song, or to provide me some kind of quotes. It can do that because it is creative side of AI ML. So basically all these layers are it relates to your human body. Yes, OpenAI, Chat, GPT, Gemini, Oral. Correct. You're right. Okay. Now I have given the analogy. Now let's understand the technical terminologies or the technical definition of all these terminologies. Artificial intelligence, a broad field of computer science aimed at creating machines that can mimic human intelligence. It enables machine to perform tasks that typically require the human intelligence. For example, reasoning, decision making, problem solving, and the examples here. So we have already discussed about now self-driving car, right? Self-driving car has become popular. Whenever we drive a car, a human being drives a car, we use our intelligence and accordingly we drive. We know that, okay, when to stop, when to speed down, when to speed, take high the speed, or when any person comes, or when any object comes in front of the car, we know that we have to apply the brake. So we use in human intelligence. Likewise, such type of training is being given to the model, ML model, which is being used by self-driven car. Chess playing computers. A computer can play a chess more efficiently than a human being. Rule-based expert system, medical diagnostic, right? So we discuss all this. Coming to machine learning. A machine learning is a specific type of artificial intelligence which allows system to learn from data. It learns from data, it detects the pattern without matching, without a human intervention. We don't have to tell the machine what to do. It learns, once it learns the pattern, it knows what to do. What to do, how to do, we don't have to tell. Okay? Now tell me guys, why the machine learning, AI, GenAI has become so popular? It is not a new thing. Machine learning AI is not a new thing. It has a history of multiple decades. But how come it has become so popular these days? Why everywhere it is being used in last 2 3 years, right? 3 years. It has gained a lot of popularity. What's the reason behind that?
The technology has matured enough.
Fayed, do you really believe that these many years required to mature the technology? It's almost 2 to 3 decades. It's there.
So more automation and response, like instance response.
That is the byproduct, right? But how come it has gained the popularity? What has changed in last 3 years, 3 4 years? Economies of scale, more availability of data. Very good. That's the point. More availability of data. So we have now, guys, because of so many social media platform and so much of online presence, everyone has online presence. Everyone is using the internet in one or the other way, right? So it's like lot of data is getting generated. And since we have data, earlier the data never used to be there. We were not having so much of online presence, right? If you just go back, if you are of in the 40s or 30s, as you go back almost 10 15 years back, you will realize that these many platforms were not there, which we are using in our day-to-day life. So the data is getting generated exponentially every day, every second, not every day. And to train a machine learning model, data is required. A large amount of data is required. Okay, that is one thing rightly mentioned. Jasmine says we have the energy and data centers in place to store the data. Very good. So Jasmine has rightly mentioned data is there, right? Data is getting generated exponentially. But to store the data, we also need a large amount of storage. And from where we are getting the storage, guys? Where is the storage available? Okay, it's not just AWS, it's basically cloud. Yes. Okay, so cloud providers are, whether it's AWS, Azure, or any other cloud, you're getting a exabyte of storage is available to you, and internet scale data you can keep. So first thing, the data is massively getting generated, and to keep that data, we also have a access to the storage and quick access. Not like we have to get some physical box and have it in our data center and then put the data, right? That will have limitation, the physical resources. So storage is there. Okay, any other thing? Processing power, right? Hamad, very correct. So processing power. Earlier we never had such a high processing power available. So because of the computational power available these days, the advancement in computational power, we are getting GPU based machines, right? And the data. It is possible for us to develop a model to build a machine learning model. All these things have accelerated the growth of AI ML in recent past. Okay, so what is machine learning? A machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence that focus on creating systems that can learn from data, improve over time, and make decisions. So it is like it learns. It is not like one-time learning. It has to improve, right? Just like you must be a working professional. You have so much of knowledge in your domain, but what you are doing, you have to improve over time. As something new comes, you have to upskill and improve. Same thing the machine learning has to do. It has to upskill, right? If something new comes. New comes in the sense if the data changes in the real world, the machine has to learn from that so that it can make the decisions, more up-to-date decisions without being explicitly programmed. So we don't have to do programming for each and everything. If this is then do this, take this decision. If else, take this decision, or another if statement or nested if. We don't have to define a rule-based program. The machine can find the pattern in the data and make predictions or decisions based on those patterns. So basically, it is learning the essence of the data. And then when a new data is given, it can predict, it can provide you the prediction. How it works? So in traditional programming, the programmer used to write the rules. If you know the flow chart, right? We used to define a flow chart, start, and if this is true, then do this, else do that. And then some output. Or nested if then else and all that. So that has got limitation, right? How many rules can you define? Suppose 100 rules are there. Now, simple example of product recommendation. E-commerce website has to do a product recommendation, personalized product recommendation. Now there are hundreds of products are there on that e-commerce website. For each product, defining a rule for one person, likewise for so many customers, oh my god, it's not possible, next to impossible. So we don't want to use that approach. Rule based is a traditional approach. It has become obsolete. Yeah, obsolete in the sense for the use cases what we are discussing. But it is still there, guys. It is not like it is not there. Rule based approach is still there being used. For what type of problems or for what type of use cases rule based approach is used? I said that it is still used. Not like everywhere you will find AI ML. Non-ML environment is also there. What do you think? Where do you have non-ML environment? Non-AI ML environment. Procedure problems, okay. See, if a problem is very simple, just go ahead with your rule-based approach. Why do you want to complicate a problem by using a machine learning? Because you have to build a model. It's a lengthy process. It is not like you can just you have ready-made things available. You do have ready-made models available, but not necessarily that will help with your business problem. Simple problem should be with simple solution. If the problem is complex, if the problem is such that it has to uh, extract the things from a large amount of data, or let's say if the problem is recurring and you would like to automate it, right? In that too, in real time, you want to take it should take the decision in real time, and it's a recurring problem. Definitely, it's a ML problem, but it's a very simple problem. For example, let's say um, you have a server, okay? You have a server in your data center, and let's say if two servers are there, server 1 and server 2, and you have defined a rule. If server 1 is active, all the load should go to that server. If that is not active, then the load should be diverted to server 2. Simple problem. Simple logic, simple rule based approach. So you have defined a rule. Okay, if this is active, if this is healthy, this server is healthy, route all the traffic to server 1. If it is failing, go to server 2. Simple. Okay, so this understanding is very important. Do not think that everywhere you can just put your machine learning. Okay, in fact, you will be complicating the things. So The programmer writes the explicit rules, but what machine learning does? The machine learning learns these rules by analyzing large data set. It is same like a human learning. Once you learn, now after this course, once you understand the complete machine learning, end-to-end machine learning, okay, how you can build a machine learning model, how you can use it, then you can use your human intelligence to, you can apply your knowledge, and you can develop a project, right? You don't need again someone to support you or supervise you how to do that. Once you learn, your learning becomes your knowledge, it becomes your intelligence, and using that, you can develop your own machine learning model. Same with ML. And we have already discussed how, where the use cases of machine learning like fraud detection or email spam. Now, email spam could be a machine learning problem for one organization, or could be a non-ML for another organization. The same problem could be ML problem for one, or could be non-ML for another organization. Now, why do I say that? What does that mean? Can anyone tell me why do I say that? What makes me think like that it could be an problem for one and not for the other organization? Hmm? Depends on what angle they are looking at the problem. Maybe enough of emails, yes. Okay, good. So depends on the emails. Suppose you are working in a let's say the organization is a startup organization with just, you have 5 employees, okay, 5 employees are working, a startup organization with 5 employees, and hardly few emails are coming in your inbox, hardly few emails are floating in a day. Maximum, for 5 employees, let's say maximum 50 emails here and there, that's it, 50 to 100. Now, why do you need a machine learning for that? Even though it is, you want a spam filter, you don't need. But what if a organization has got lakhs of employees, and thousands of emails are coming because you are in a service industry, you have hundreds of customers, you are supporting your customers are raising support ticket, and you're getting lots of email in a day. Surely it is required to be to to use ML. Okay, so that is what it means, when to use ML and when not to use ML. Okay, so machine learning algorithm. Now here the word algorithm being used, right? So most of the time here also algorithm. Now what is algorithm? See, we discussed that what is required for to train a machine. Machine is learning. I would add just is in between. Machine learning is basically machine is learning. How machine is learning? Using data. Apart from data, one more thing is required for machine to learn, and that is nothing but algorithm. That is algorithm. Now, let me give you a simple example of what an algorithm means over here. You guys must be aware what is algorithm, because algorithm is a set of instructions, right? So all of you are aware of that. But I would like to give you a simple analogy for what is algorithm. Now guys, all of you are working professional, or maybe some of you are in college studying. I don't know, because I need to take the intro. I'll do that later. So, but you are quite grown up too, because since you have enrolled for this course, so you are quite grown up, and I would consider you as a professional. Now, you know, whatever I'm speaking here, you are able to understand my language. I am speaking English, and you are able to understand it. Right? I hope so. We don't have non-English speakers here, right? So all of you are able to understand my language. How, from where, how come you are able to understand me? Though you are there spread across the geographical area, your mother tongue could be different, not English, right? You could be non-native, non-English native, but you're still able to understand it. How is that possible, guys? Hmm? Because you have been taught, you have learned. Where did you learn? maybe in your schooling, maybe, yeah, in schooling only, right? In schooling, you have learned a language. And now on top of that language, as you have that language, you are able to communicate, you are able to learn, you are able to upgrade certain skills. So that language has become your algorithm. Okay? To when you have enrolled for this course, AI ML course, do you have to or have you gone to English classes to learn English? No. Are they teaching you English? The K21? Definitely no. So that is a foundation, right? And using that foundation, you are learning a new technology. So the new technology has become your data. The AI ML course is your data and the language is your algorithm. Same with machine learning. So algorithm is a set of instructions. And a trained algorithm is your machine learning model. A trained algo is ML, machine learning model. So you don't have to do from the scratch, but if you wish to, you can even write, you can develop your own algorithm. It is like learning ABCD, a language. And then after you learn the language, then you are what you are doing? You are learning the skill set. You are upgrading the skill or learning the skills. So that is what, like, you're first developing your algorithm and then you are developing a machine learning model. But now you already have so many algorithms available. You can just use those algorithms and provide the data to the algo and build a model. It's kind of a foundation. Now, depending on which algorithm to choose, it completely depends on the problem, business problem, which we will discuss later. So that is your algorithm. Algorithms are data driven. Okay. So we have to provide the data so that the algorithm learn and it can perform. Okay. So what is machine learning model? I have already told you. A trained algorithm is machine learning model. Coming to deep learning. So deep learning, I explained you, it imitate your human brain. So it is a specialized branch of machine learning. So if you remember the first visual which we saw, first we have AI, then we have ML, okay, and then we have deep learning and generative AI. So basically machine learning is a subset of AI. Likewise, deep learning is a subset of, okay. So deep learning, we use deep learning models we use to deal with complex problems. So it's a branch of machine learning that uses neural network. A neural network is basically a layered network. Just like our brain has got multiple neurons and it's a layered artificial neural network layer is there. Likewise, there are many layers and which is known as deep neural network. As the number of layers increases, the depth of that increases. Okay. So because it is a layered model, it can solve complex problems, okay, and understand complex pattern in data. Convolution neural networks for images, like the deep learning we use for identifying images. Let's say you have given some image to deep learning model and we want that the deep learning model should identify the various objects in the image. How many cars are there, if there is a building, if there is a river flowing, or if there are person, like different objects are there in the image, and we would want that it should identify that. Or let's say I would want that it should identify the car number, right? So all that it can identify using a convolution neural network. Recurring neural network for sequences like text or speech. So it can identify the speech. It can translate the text to speech or speech to text, okay, by using recurring neural network, RNN. And yeah, so it is composed of multiple layers of interconnected nodes. How deep learning is different from machine learning? So this is A simple answer to that, as I said, the machine learning is like a human learning and deep learning is our brain. Okay, like the example I gave, when you're driving a car, you are experienced driver, you know how to drive a car, it becomes automated thing. That is your machine learning. Deep learning is the one when you are, let's say, you have shifted from uh, you can say auto car, what we call it as, sorry, my bad, a gear based, instead of a gear based you have shifted to the auto one. So first few days you need to get adjusted to that, or maybe you have bought a new variant, completely new, which has a lot of features. So to get acquainted with all the features of that variant, it will take some time. So that comes under that, I can give analogy as a deep learning, because you're learning something new and trying to understand it, the new features of that. Okay, if something complex is there, you're trying to understand. Now for example, you're learning AIML. Now as a student, you're learning this AIML, you are like basically learning some complex technology. You are actually a deep learning, using your brain, the various neural network. And machine learning is basically, you have already learned the language, you have already know the computer, you know, okay, operating system, you know the application, what an application means, and how to use the browser, and the basically the things, basic things, right, how it works in the computer industry, you know that. That's kind of a machine learning. So just to give an analogy, that's what it differs. So here also same thing is highlighted. A deep learning uses artificial neural network. And whatever machine learning basically derives the features, right? It derives the features from the data, and that whatever it has derived, whatever it has learned, it is, the model is getting trained on those things, right? What it has derived, and now we will evaluate the performance of the model. We validate it before we deploy it. So if the performance is not up to the mark, again that feedback is going to the model, and it is again doing the next iteration. So multiple iteration it does, and then send the feedback. As the performance improves, as it cross the expected one, it will stop. So this is what is artificial neural network. It is giving a feedback, and then again it is going through the process to improve the performance. Here it is manually engineered features are there. So we do the feature engineering, we modify the to improve the performance of a machine learning model. Basically we do the fine tuning, we manually do the fine tuning, and here the ANN itself is doing that. So as we progress with our course, you will come to know, okay, how do we do the fine tuning with our machine learning model. Generative AI, I've already have told you, and GPT, Chat GPT, and all. So basically, Gen AI uses LLM to generate the text, to generate an image, or to create something. Basically, it's a creative, right? Generative is basically creative. So it uses large language model, LLM. A large language model are pre-trained models on an internet scale data. So these are like ready-made models available to you, and using the LLMs, the Gen AI can generate the text, can generate the image, can compose a music for you, can create a video for you. All this it is possible using a LLM. Now, why it is known as large? Because it uses it is being trained on internet scale data. That's why it is known as large language model, the foundation model. So lots of foundation models are there. You can just go ahead, start using it, or you can fine tune for your requirement, and then you can use it. Okay, so we will see how we can use LLM. Now traditional programming. So traditional programming is a rule based that we discussed, like conditional statement, how we used to write if this is true, if true, then take some action, okay, else take some other action. So that is rule based, is our traditional programming. The programmer used to define the rule, and accordingly the program used to behave, right? But here it is not like that. Our machine learning learn the rules from the data itself. It learn the pattern from the data.
Hi, Sonam.
Yeah.
Sonam, just a quick question. For GenAI, do we need to create a model for GenAI, or we use pre-available models?
Okay.
And
So
are they
basically, we have lots of pre-trained LLMs, pre-trained foundation models are available. If you want, you can go ahead and start using it. Okay. Already it is there, so you can use it. Or if you want to develop your own model, then the entire machine learning pipeline that we are going to focus in this course, we are going to discuss how you can build your model. So that approach you have to use to build your own model. But usually it is not required because already LLMs are there. Lots of foundation models are there provided by different vendors, by different organization. So it should suffice to your need. In case if you have some specific requirement and the LLM is like the foundation model what is being provided is giving up to 40%, it is up to 40% of your need is being taken care, but still there is a gap. What you can do, you can use the existing foundation model, fine tune it, and then start using it. So you can make it specific for your business need, you so that
so?
it will save lot of time. You don't have to build from the scratch, but still if you want you can build. Yeah.
Does it use internet knowledge as well?
Does it use, sorry?
Internet knowledge as well, like go search and find content from internet.
No, already it is a pre-trained model.
Okay. So
It will
it
not.
is going up
No,
to
I
date
didn't.
knowledge.
Come again, I didn't get your question.
Means like I'm a little confused. Will it be sufficient to give us up to date knowledge?
Oh, okay, that's a great point. Yeah. So basically what a Gen AI is used for, tell me. I'll go
Like
back.
for chatbot mainly and image processing, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. So it is generating the text image generation. So it's at the creative side, right? It is not giving you a prediction on the weather. It is not identifying the fraudulent activity as more creative side. Okay, now it can, for example, if you ask some question to chat GPT, it can hallucinate. Possible. It will give you the answer in such a way as if like you feel as if it's an authenticate and correct answer, up to date one, but possibility is that it can hallucinate if it is not been retrained. As the real world data change, definitely you will have to do retraining, which comes under fine tuning. So there are different ways of fine tuning a model to improve the performance of the model, because over a period of time the model performance deteriorate. We
But
do
such
prompt engineering, we do retraining, we do this one RAG, all this comes under fine tuning.
such kind of questions like what is the weather today in here and there in this city, will it be go connect to the internet or give us to the answer, or it
Oh,
just
that is
ignore
something.
the
Okay, that is something a real time inferencing. That is a real time inferencing. Okay. Yes, that is right, fair. We are keep getting new versions of GPT. So see, basically, you're mixing up two different things: the machine learning and generative AI.
okay.
We have something known as batch inferencing, we have got real time inferencing. If a model is supposed to predict the weather, okay, so it is what we call it as real time prediction. So for this, the model is being trained on the weather data, and a new data is coming to the model which it is able to understand a new data, because it is already been trained on the different weather conditions, different data, the diverse data on the weather condition, it is already been trained. And any new data comes, let's say you can say a rain is there, it's raining in one of the city. Now that data goes to the model and model can understand, it can predict. Or let's say it has become cloudy, it can predict because it is trained already. So it can predict on the new data. That is what is all model all about. It is not creative, it is not generating, it is giving some real-time prediction. That is machine learning model. That is not Gen AI. Getting my point? Are you able to understand, Mudit?
Okay, so thank you, Sonam. So this Gen AI more work on batch processing kind of. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Gen AI, yeah, definitely batch processing, but Gen AI use case is different. These type of use cases are there in Gen AI for generating a content for you,
All right.
not for let's say product recommendation or identifying fraudulent transaction or email spam. For that, we don't use Gen AI.
All right. I got it.
Generating some new content for you based on what it has been trained on. Now, let's say if I ask a Gen AI model to generate an image of an apple for me, let's say a green apple image for me, it can generate because it has been already trained on different types of apple, different color apple. It can give me exact image of an apple, how an apple looks like, the green color apple. It can give me because it is already trained on that. So this is like generating some new content for me. It is not for predicting or inferencing. Okay, so the Gen AI use cases are completely different.
Thanks, Sonam.
Yeah,
Completely understand.
yeah. But again, you will get more clarity as we move ahead with the course and as I demonstrate the things. Okay, we will be using LLM. I will be showcasing the demonstration of LLM, how we can use LLM to generate the content, and the same thing with machine learning model also.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we discuss about this traditional programming, business rule, a comparison of artificial intelligence, and so this also we covered what is AI. So again, a quick review: any technique that allows computers to mimic human intelligence using logic. Basically, we use a human always do a logical thinking to the intelligence has got logical thinking, right? Same thing with artificial intelligence using logic like if then statement and machine learning. Machine learning, it uses the human learning, a subset of AI that uses machine to search for pattern in data to build a logic model automatically. And deep learning, multi-layered neural network. Gen AI powered by large models that are pre-trained on vast corpora of data and commonly referred to as foundation models. So a comparison again, it is highlighted here. So I will highlight on the example. So self-driving car falls under artificial intelligence, chatbot, virtual assistant, all this falls under AI. Machine learning, spam filters, recommendation engine, product recommendation, all this comes under ML. Deep learning, identifying images, speed to text conversion, natural language processing, whatever you are giving in any language, let's say in English and non-English, any other language, it is able to understand and process it. That falls under deep learning. Or chat GPT, okay, Dell E, all this falls under generative AI. Any task requires intelligence, that is your AI. Predictive, task based on pattern in data, which basically prediction, providing a prediction, weather prediction, or let's say when a system can become faulty, a predictive maintenance machine learning is used. Or predicting the in the healthcare industry, predicting the disease for a patient, looking at the various diagnostic report, right? Complex tasks involve like speech or text recognition. Text recognition, whatever text we provide. Let's say I have some handwritten notes and I would want that it should identify, it should be able to understand what I have written it, or it should be able to convert that in a different language, right? Creative text, text, image, and audio generation. So these are the different use cases of your the comparison of. Okay, so okay, fine. Now AWS AI ML Gen AI. So the services. Okay, now before we switch on to the services, creating a free tier account. So you have you now going forward, we will be doing labs also. So I'll be demonstrating the things in the session, and you will have to do the labs. There are lots of guided labs are provided by K21. So for that, you need to definitely create an account with AWS Azure. If you are opting for Azure course, you will have to create with Azure. So by any chance, any one of you have an account with this platform? Or now for this course, we would need for AWS. What do you have, guys? Any one of you? Or okay, so what's it? Not there. Okay, not to worry. I will showcase you, and even you have a video also that will guide you how to create a free tier account. So basically, AWS provides a free tier account. The validity of free tier is 12 months. Okay, so you can create a free tier account with AWS, and to create your free tier account, you have to go to aws.amazon.com portal, aw.amazon.com portal, and there you have to provide your email ID, you have to provide a password, and you will have to provide your personal detail, and the account type should be, the account type you should create it as a basic personal account, because you are going to create a free tier account. So basic, it should be basic and personal. Okay, and you will have to provide a credit or a debit card detail, credit or debit card, to create an account. Once you provide all these details correctly, immediately your account will get activated and you can start using your account. So to log on, you will have to provide the same email ID what you used to create an account and the password, and then you are logged on. As you log on, you will be, now when you provide email ID and password, you are logged on to AWS Management Console, which is basically a graphical based. So AWS Management Console, which is a graphical based interface. Now 12 months free, the validity of free tier account is 12 months. Now what does that mean? Do not assume that everything is free for 12 months. More than 200 services are there offered by AWS, and all the services are not free to you. There are certain services which are completely free. You do not have to pay a single rupee for that, or single dollar for that. Okay, that's completely free, because whether you create a free tier account or enterprise account, that those are completely free. But there are certain services which are completely chargeable. So even if you create a free tier account, if you use a chargeable service, you will be charged for that. Keep that in mind. And there are certain services are there which are partially chargeable. Not all the features of a services will be chargeable. Okay, so partially chargeable are there. So we have so many different services are there available. Now the services under free tier, most of the services under free tier has got a free tier validity. Free tier limit is there. For example, if I talk about a storage service, you might have heard about S3 storage. Heard about this, guys? S3 service on AWS? Okay, right? So S3 simple storage service. So under free tier, the free tier limit for S3 is up to 5 GB per month. So up to 5 GB per month. If you keep a data up to 5 GB per month, you do not have to pay for that. If you cross this limit, you have to pay. Likewise for EBS volume, you have up to 30 GB free limit per month. So a free tier account gives you a free tier limit for some of the services. If you stay within the limit, you don't have to pay, but if you cross the limit, you have to pay. Now, to understand the free tier limit, if you want to understand what is a free tier limit for the services, so go to aws.amazon.com/free. If you go to this portal, you will get to see the free tier limit for all the services. Okay. So I suggest you, before you come for the next session on this course, better you create your free tier account, and so that you can do the hands-on as we do it in the class simultaneously. Okay. Now coming to the services that are offered under AI ML stack. So for AI services, we have lots of services under AI category. For example, we have a translate service, we have comprehend service, we have got poly, transcribe, text track, recognition. Okay. Lex is there, Kendra is there, personalized, fraud detector, forecast, code guru. So many services are there offered under AI. So we are going to discuss all these services. I am going to demonstrate some of the services in this session. So it will be clear how each of the services used for, and what is the what is the use case of that. For example, we have translate service to translate a content or a data from one language to another language. Or we have got comprehend service for sentiment analysis. We have got transcribe service to create a transcription of whatever you speak. It will create a, like, speech to text it will do. So it will create transcript. And text to speech is a poly. So likewise, we have all these different services. Now coming to the next, ML stack. So this is AI stack, this is ML. So for machine learning, end-to-end machine learning, the entire pipeline you can build using the Amazon SageMaker service, which is used to build, train, and deploy the machine learning model. Then you have got, like, if we go below, ML framework and infrastructure. So if you want, you can build your machine learning model on EC2 instance also. Okay, so you will be having certain amount of C processing power to your EC2. So if you're building a model, you would need a graphics processing unit, or you can that you have this infrastructure like Inferentia and Trinium. Now because of this specialized processors available, or the high computational power available, like AWS has got Inferentia and Trinium, it's possible that the machine learning models can get developed, okay, because of this specialized hardware. And also you have framework, PyTorch, Apache MaxNet, TensorFlow. So to build your, to create your own script for algorithm. So basically these are the different resources available to you, different services are there, and using this you can build your model, you can use your AI services, okay, for different use case. So we are, as we are going to discuss all this in our course, so not going in depth of each of the service, anyhow it will be discussed. I have built a simple data analysis tool using Streamlit. Which service can I use for deployment? Okay, build a data analysis tool. So you want to create a model out of that, Sule? Do you want to create a model? Okay, SageMaker is the service. SageMaker is used to analyze the data, it is used to pre-process the data, it is used to build a model, machine learning model, it is used to evaluate the model, deploy the model, all that, retrain the model we can do with SageMaker. Okay, so end to end we can do this. We have another service that, okay, in the Gen AI category, that is Bedrock is there. So Bedrock service offers you pre-trained foundation models. Okay, so you can see all under Bedrock, you can see the pre-trained model LLMs are available under Bedrock. So there you can start, just pick up one of the LLM and start using it. You can also create guardrails, you can create the agent, Bedrock agent. So all this, you can have your own knowledge base using your Bedrock. You can fine tune your model, like with custom model input, all this possible with Bedrock. Then apart from that, we have Amazon Q service also. Q for developer is there, which is a AI coding companion. Basically, it will generate a code for you. So Gen AI is not about just text generation, but it is also generating a code for you. It is also suggesting code to you. Let's say I want to create an S3 bucket, create create a I want to create a bucket in S3 service. Okay, create a bucket in S3. Now for this, I want to use a SDK or a CLI. Okay, CLI tool, not the console based. So I want to create an S3 bucket using Python. I can ask you to generate a Python code for me to create a bucket in S3, and it will do for me. So I can just provide in which language, what code to be generated. From the scratch, it can provide me end-to-end code it can give me. Or I can, let's say I have written certain instructions in my program, and the Amazon Q developer can suggest me the next instructions. Looking at what instructions I have gave, it will understand the context of that and provide me suggestions. It can even provide me multiple suggestions, whichever match to my requirement. I can opt for that. I can choose that. I can just give in the instruction in plain English language, and it can provide me the code. So this is the generative creative side of that. Okay, whether it is generating the text or generating the code for you. Now we have got equivalent Azure services available here. It is what services do we have in Amazon, like AWS for building a model, or for AI, whether it is facial recognition, or whether it is translating the text, or whether it is Gen AI service. So we have got equivalent service available in the AWS Azure. So let us see. And yeah, you do have the different courses and different certifications offered by Azure also, like Azure AI engineer is there, data scientist is there, Azure AI fundamentals is there. AWS has got AWS AI practitioner, machine learning associate, machine learning engineer associate is there, machine learning specialty, and we do have data engineer also. Okay, data engineer associate. So Azure also, you can create a free tier account, but here there is no free tier limit, but here it is based on the credit. Okay, so when you create an account, it will provide you credit, and those credits you can use it against the services. When you deploy a service, the credits will be, certain credits will be deducted from your account. So until the credit gets exhausted, you can deploy, you can start using the services. Once the credits are deployed, you will be charged.
So now, can we get the credits online, please?
Yeah, when you create the account, Microsoft provides you the credit.
No, for AWS.
Credits, how can you get? Because it is not credit based, right? Okay,
No,
okay, got it, got it. I understood your question. Okay, so the credits you're talking about is the yeah. So yeah, definitely you can get the credits. So how can you get the credits? Let me tell you. Just a minute. I'm not able to get my pointer here. Give me a second. My pointer is not coming to the chat. Okay, so what you can do, you can get the credits. There are lots of conferences, summits are conducted by AWS. I'm talking about the virtual conference. Okay, and suppose if you are there in person also, conferences are there, which are summits are also there. So you can even attend that, not just for yeah, first important thing is the conferences, the summits are really very knowledgeable. Like you gain a lot of knowledge, lots of useful seminars are conducted, webinars are conducted for virtual, and those are really, and it's an education, I would say education conference or education summit. That is first thing. Second important thing, there are few conferences are there, virtual conference. If you attend those conference, if you fill the feedback form, the survey form, Amazon provides you credits. So some of the conference you will get $25 as a credit, some you will get $50 as a credit. So you can earn credits like this. I used to do that in my early days when now I'm getting credits from Amazon. But earlier, when I was not the authorized instructor, I used to get the credits by attending such conferences, filling their survey form, and getting the credits. So recently, in the month of March, the Innovate conference was conducted, and that offered $25 as a credit. I attended it, just wanted to check if that scheme is still there. Amazon is still providing the credits, and I received when I filled the survey after 20 days. I received the $25 credit. Likewise, Awesome Day was also there, so even that had a credit. In the previous batch which I was conducting, luckily that when I started the batch, just after a few days, the Awesome Day was there. So I told them to attend the Awesome Day conference and fill the survey, and most of the participants, they got the credits. Okay, so the same strategy you can also use. So if you have credits in your account, you can use those credits against the services. So now see, machine learning services are not completely free, right? Some of the features are chargeable, and if you are deploying a large configuration machine, you are going to get charged for that. So okay, so you are going to get charged for that, right? So how can you save money? You can save that by having credits in your account. So I'm just trying to showcase that. I don't know why it is stuck my mouse. Let me just
But
remove
how
it.
do you know when the this
Okay.
conference are going on?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So what you can do, you can keep an eye, in the sense you can subscribe for notifications for any upcoming conference or webinars or virtual sessions which happens or conducted by AWS, so that you get the notification on the mail. Or if you just visit your aws.amazon.com website, there it will be flash. The upcoming conferences are flash. Now, in the month of June, also there is a conference is there. Uh, Reinvent conference is there. So even Reinvent conference also they offer the credits. So now if I just go to aws.amazon.com portal, Innovate conference is there. Reinforce, sorry, not Innovate. Reinforce is there. So you can just enroll for register for this. Okay, so this will also give you. So you can hear all the conferences and upcoming sessions are highlighted. Can you see here? June 10, 11, Washington, D.C. So you have register for fees. So there is some conferences there, okay, in Washington, D.C. So you can subscribe or you can keep an eye on this. Hope that answers your question, right?
Thank you very much. It helps.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so yeah, similarly, Azure, you can create a free tier account, and there are port like Azure services are there. For example, if I talk about the ML service, like we have SageMaker in AWS, right? SageMaker is to build, train, and deploy the machine learning model. Likewise, in Azure, you have a service by the name machine learning itself. So I have seen one thing in Azure, the service names are same as the use case of a service. For example, you want to create a virtual machine. So you want to know which service you can use in Azure to create a virtual machine. So the service name itself is a virtual machine. Wherein in AWS we have EC2. Okay, so not it is not like the logic is not applicable for all the services, but yeah, most of the services, the service name is as it reflects the use case of that service. Okay, so for example, we have a Bedrock service in AWS, which is a Gen AI service. So in Azure, you have got Open AI service, right? So in we have SageMaker Studio available in AWS. So there you have VS Code or ML Studio. Machine learning is there, which is a SageMaker on AWS. Okay. The important thing to understand is that, guys, once you are comfortable with AWS SageMaker service, I'm sure you will be able to manage with ML, Azure ML service, because the basic thing remains same. Like SageMaker, by using SageMaker, we can build, train, and deploy the model. The Azure ML also has similar functionality. It differs in the features. Okay, it differs in the features and the UI, how we use the service. That is what it differs. But once you become comfortable with one platform, you can easily manage the other one. So you have equivalent service available. What you have in AWS, the equivalent to that is available in the Azure also. So these are the services for language analysis, for question answering, okay, speech recognition, vision. So all these AI services are there: vision, language, document intelligence, open AI search. So the service names are this one. Okay, Fayad says if we already have an AWS account and stay within the free tier limit, there should be no charge. So technically, any account has free tier limit benefit. Any account, no, Fayad. See, there are different subscription model we have on AWS. There are four different types of accounts or the subscriptions are there. One is free tier, then you have developer account, business account, and enterprise account. So in case if you are creating a developer, business, or enterprise account, per month charges are applicable because you will be getting additional benefits, additional features are there supported by these accounts. Free tier account, now for example, when you're creating a free tier account, let's say you're facing some challenge, you're trying to build a machine learning model and you're stuck at some point. Okay, you are not able to understand how to deploy a model, or you are not able to understand how to do a data processing, some technical problem. Okay, technical issues are there. It is like you have deployed the model but it is throwing an error, some error code is there. Now you're clueless how to fix this, and you cannot, for such technical issues, you cannot raise a technical ticket. Okay, you can't raise a ticket in a free tier account, AWS free tier account. Free tier account, you can only raise a ticket related to billing issues, your billing dashboard, anything related to your billing. You can raise a ticket, but you cannot raise a ticket on technical issues and all. So such support is provided in the other subscription like developer, business, and enterprise. You can raise the technical ticket. Okay, so that is what it differs in the benefits. And yeah, you can stay within the free tier limit, but as I said, there are certain services which are chargeable, completely chargeable. Okay, so we do have a free tier limit for the AIML services also. So I just suggest you please check the free tier limit. Suppose if I go to the portal which I told you, as I go here and aws.amazon.com/free, I can show you. Here I can see the free tier category. So we can filter out for the AI ML services. As we go down, see free trial, 12 months free, always free. So there are some services, as I said, always free. And there are some services in the free tier account which has got a free tier limit. Right? So if we just expand, that is what it says. And once it is expired after 12 months, it will switch to pay per use model. Remember that. Now if I go down and if I go to machine learning category, so can you see, guys, Amazon SageMaker service, 2 months free trial, machine learning for every data scientist and developer. So how many hours of free? See, 250 hours per month of MLT3 medium. If you are deploying this type of instance, MLT3 medium, and per month 250 hours is free for you. Likewise for the other type of instance, right? So it is possible to stay within the free tier limit even if you are, so ML M5 4x large on SageMaker Data Wrangler 25 hours, it's more than sufficient. Why do I say more than sufficient? The best practice you should adopt is, as you're done with your work, when you're using your own account, make sure that you terminate all the resources. Don't leave the resources in your account. If you terminate it immediately, it will not take much time. The complete ML pipeline, even if you want to deploy right from data processing till the end, end to end, it will not take more than 2 to 3 hours and you can finish off. So you are there still within the free tier limit. right? So likewise, now comprehend is an AI service. So for that also free tier limit is there. And as I go down, Lex is also AI service, poly, recognition. So every, all the services has got a free tier limit. So just have a look when before start using the service, you can maybe go to this whichever service hands-on you're doing, right? Okay. So AWS Azure, the comparison is highlighted. So you can understand this Azure services. I would say go to the services later. First learn the services. In this course, you are going to learn the service. Which service is used for what use case. You will be, for most of the services, you will be doing hands-on. Once you become comfortable with AWS set of services, then you can easily pick up the names of the equivalent service available with Azure. Okay, like we have translate service. Now once you know, okay, what a translate service is used for and how do you use it and how the console of translate looks like and what options are available to it, immediately then once you become comfortable, okay, in Azure you have a translator service and maybe you can just explore the features to understand how, what is the differentiator between these two services, right? But first become comfortable with one platform, gain an expertise, and then so comparison is given. Why this comparison they have added here? This will help in the to face the interviews. Some of the, in some interviews they ask like, do you have a knowledge? You can just say yes. If suppose you have not worked on Azure, you can say that yes, you have a high level knowledge on Azure, but you are very much comfortable on AWS, and you are very much confident on your skills that you can anytime manage Azure. As you know, you are very much comfortable with, let's say, if the question is like, do you know which service is used for facial recognition on AWS, you can say that yes, Amazon recognition is there. You can tell more about recognition service. And if they ask, do you know what service is there on Azure, you can tell the service name. And you can always say that you have not worked on that service, but you can always pick up it quickly because you are comfortable on AWS platform, right? So that way you can put on the things, not required that you should know for all, but a comparison, that's why it is being given. Okay, so here see, SageMaker is there to build and deploy, and same thing in Azure we have ML service, end-to-end machine learning. Same thing here, end-to-end. SageMaker also does the same thing. ML, Azure ML also does the same thing. Likewise, Auto ML, SageMaker Autopilot is there. Here we have Auto ML. AI services are there. Here cognitive service or endpoint we create for model deployment in SageMaker. On AWS platform, here ML inferencing. Here also we have ML ops and pipeline. Again, same name here also. We keep the features in a SageMaker feature store. Azure also has got feature store. So many names are even common between these two platforms. So comparison of GenAI service with the Azure service. So just have a look, read out. You will not be able to remember so many services name at this point of time. So I don't want to put a lot of load, cognitive load on you. You just progress with this course as we start working. As you start working on the services, let's say you will be once you do enough hands-on on Bedrock service, you become so comfortable, then this comparison will not be, it will not be difficult for you guys to remember. Okay, Hamad says, is Azure better than AWS or vice versa? Um, Hamad, neither I will say it is better than AWS nor or vice versa. It is like both are two different platform, two different cloud provider, and they provide services. Azure also has got a lot of services under different categories. Same thing with AWS, different categories. It is based on your requirement, based on business requirement. What we do, let's say we have planned to, let's say our organization has a requirement and to build a machine learning model for certain business problem. Fine. Now we are looking for the service. We have a requirement to build a machine learning model. So now we are exploring the service available on AWS, also on Azure. So we know that SageMaker is there available here. We know that ML is available here. What we do, we start understanding more about SageMaker, the features, the cost and everything. Same thing we do for ML, and then we do comparison to understand which one match with our requirement more closely, which can be a better fit. Okay, so it is like it completely depends on your requirement. For certain one requirement, let's say SageMaker is the best fit for you, you can go for that. For some other requirement you feel that no, for let's say Gen AI or Azure OpenAI features are more relevant to your requirement, you can opt for that. You can have a multi-cloud environment. That is what is happening these days. Most of the organization, they are using multi-cloud. They want to use the best services offered by each of these cloud provider. And why not? They should always, right? Because we are living in an era wherein we have so many options available, and let's explore the best options available with all the platform. If I feel that okay, this is more competitive, more cost effective, SageMaker, Amazon SageMaker compared to the Azure ML, I'll just go ahead with the SageMaker. So it depends on which one I give importance in for my business problem. Okay, the performance, the cost, or the other parameters. Okay, so machine learning versus traditional programming we have discussed. Okay, now it's time to discuss the pipeline. So let's have a quick high level overview. Anyhow, we'll be doing a deep dive on each and every phase, each and every stage of the machine learning pipeline, along with the demonstration, and you are going to do the hands-on also. Now, the machine learning pipeline. Why a pipeline or a life cycle? Basically, the life cycle of a machine learning, or when a machine should start learning. It completely depends on the business goal. See, when do you start learning, guys? Okay, tell me. What is the objective behind you enrolling for this course? Since I have not taken the intro, some of you can answer this. If I would have taken the intro, I would have had the answer with me uh, beforehand. But what makes you enroll for this course? For improving, progressing, new skill, okay. For job, for upskilling, to learn end-to-end development and deployment, okay. Company requirement, okay, good. So basically, a human being upskill, reskill, okay, we learn something new, we upgrade our skills, we polish our skills when there is a requirement for that. Could be a company requirement, could be a personal requirement, right? Yes, career opportunities. So basically a requirement, certain goal, certain requirement is there. Or could be a problem. Let's say a person is a jobless. Okay, a person has lost a job, so that is a problem. Now to address this problem, the person is trying to learn new skills, the niche skills available in the market, so that can become competent, can face the interview, and can get a job, can secure the position in the market, right? So to address a problem, we are upskilling ourselves. To learn something new, upskilling for better career opportunities. So basically, same thing which happens with machine learning. When a machine should start learning, or when do we start training our machine learning model? When do we start creating a model? When there is some requirement, business requirement, or there is some business problem. Okay, either there is a requirement or a problem. Once we get the requirement or a problem in hand, what we do, we try to understand if this is a machine learning problem. First thing, we try to understand the problem. Most of the time it happens that we don't understand the problem, or we don't know the problem, and we jump to the solution. It happens with most of the organization. Employees, without having a clear understanding of problem, they jump to the solution, and then it will take a lot of time for them to come to a solution, because while finding a solution, they are understanding the problem in bits and pieces. So it is not the right way. First you understand the problem, then you or try to search for the solution or try to build your solution. So that is the important thing. First understand the problem. And just not understanding, you need to understand whether this business problem can be a machine learning problem. As we discussed, not every problem can be a machine learning problem. Not every problem has to be solved by machine learning. There are certain problems which a human being only has to solve or can solve. We don't need machine for every problem. For example, like you people were somebody told me in the beginning, emotions, right? Emotionless. So emotions are not there in the AI. So suppose a problem is emotion based problem, we cannot use machine learning for that, right? Just uh, adding a human here. So understand whether it is a machine learning problem. Once you understood, yes, you should solve this by using machine learning, start framing your problem, formulating a problem. Once you do the problem formulation, a clear definition defining a problem, then you start gathering the data which is relevant to your problem. Not like for any problem, any data can be given, any data can be used to build a model, right? Based on the problem, the data has to be collected. So you start collecting the data, you start integrating the data, like ingesting the data, you start preparing the data to build your model. So all that comes under data processing. And then once your data is ready for a model training, you start training your model. You provide this data, you select an algorithm, and you start model building. Once the model building is done, you evaluate the model to check the performance. If it is giving you satisfactory performance, you deploy the model in the production environment. And once it is deployed, you start monitoring your model. And suppose while monitoring after the model was deployed and it is being used almost a year, it was giving the good performance, but after a year we found that the performance is going down, we may have to retrain the model. So that's why it is again going here, retrain the model, because the data, real data, the true data has been changed, and that's why we have to retrain the model. And since the data has been changed, so that new data we have to collect, and we have to do the data processing again for the new data and then give it to the model, and then the rest deployed. Okay, so this is your machine learning life cycle. Each and every step, as I said, we are going to discuss in depth. A machine learning life cycle has a machine learning pipeline, the same what we discussed. A business problem, first understand, identify, and then formulate it as a machine learning problem, and then do the data processing thing. So under data processing, these two steps comes: data collection and integration, data pre-processing and visualization. Visualize your data so that you will understand how the data looks like, what inconsistency do you have in the data. See, you can't just give a raw data to you to build a model. Keep that in mind. Data has to be cleaned. It should be a quality data. It should not have any inconsistency. It should be in the format supported by your model. Okay, so you have to basically prepare your data for building your model. That is this stage. And then you do the model training, then evaluate. Once evaluation is succeeded, you check if it is meeting your business goal. If yes, deploy it. If no, do the feature engineering, do the data augmentation. Means basically you are fine tuning it to improve the model performance. Once it is deployed, it is not just over. You have to retrain your model whenever a new data comes. New data in the sense, the data on which the model is not been trained on. Okay. A simple example, let's say my model, my model is used for manufacturing industry, and it knows all the variants and the features of all the variants of a particular, let's say, Honda car. Okay, it know all the variants and the features provided. But now Honda uh, has released a new variant with completely new features. And yesterday only I was seeing there is a very small size car. Honda has manufactured, Honda Civic has in the Civic category, they have manufactured a car which is of a very lower height, which was launched in Taiwan. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. So let's say now this is a new variant which has come, but my model has not seen that data, has does not know the features of that particular variant. So we have to do the retraining, and retraining is again, it has to go through the data processing things, because it's a raw data, it has to get prepared for model training and then the things. So this is our machine learning pipeline. Okay, the use cases already we discussed about all these: AI, ML, deep learning, gen AI. So complex task, AI, when to use AI. A complex task cannot code it. Scaling expertise can't scale it. Adapting, personalization, or autonomous, unpredictable, can't track it. So these are why use AI when the problem requires human intelligence and decision making. Like for example, chatbot. So chatbot is basically, it has replaced the support guys, the support people who used to be there 24/7 supporting. When you used to ask some question, they used to be there on the other side to provide you the query, to answer to the queries and all that, right? Or a self-driving car, a human used to drive the car, now the machine itself, like using AI, the car can drive itself. It can learn, it can detect the object coming in front of that. While it is driving, while it is identifying the object, it is learning that. So it is improving, learning and improving itself. It is not just learning. So whatever object has come in front of the car, so let's say some new object, it has learned that, and it has now added in its parameters. So it knows that, okay, this object, some new object has come, it has identified, it has learned that object, so that next time when the object comes, it is a known object for the self-driven car. Automatic intelligent task that requires human-like reasoning. So basically all what we discuss, human intelligence, whether it is um, in the form of thinking or in the form of performing the actions, right? Almost every industry has got AI ML. Healthcare, manufacturing, or food industry, media entertainment, IT industry, right? Everywhere you have, even in the real estate, travel, also it's there. Fashion is there, hospitality, it's almost everywhere, everywhere. Machine learning. Why use machine learning? When the problem involves patterns and variability too complex for a rule. So we cannot define, as I told you, like email spam for an organization where lakhs of employees are working, right? So it is not possible, because for each employee, hundreds of emails are coming every day. So not possible for a human to do that task, right? We would need definitely machine learning. Automating human-like tasks that require expertise at scale. So like for example, recommendations. So when e-commerce website, a lot of people parallelly buying the things, parallelly they are exploring the products available on amazon.com. Now it has to provide the recommendation at a scale, right, for such a wider audience. A human based approach not possible. So we definitely need to use machine learning when the system needs to learn and adapt over time based on new input. So it is like self-learning also, personalized recommendation, adaptive learning. So it is adapting. Now what purchase, see, it has given me certain recommendation. Now based on that recommendation, did I do the purchase? If yes, okay, it has understood that, yes, it has understood my taste, my choice, and next time it will try to give me on personalized recommendation on the similar you can say product. So it will adapt my what my behavior it has adapted. When the task involves real-time unpredictable decisions. Okay, so we want a real time. For example, a CCTV camera is installed in the defense academy or defense place, right? And it has to take, if any suspicious activity, it has, if it is identify a person just roaming around, a stranger trying to see your setup and all that, right? So it should be able to provide that information immediately so that the action can be taken. So it's a real time. This such type of task, a human intervention, like using a human based approach, definitely will not be a good choice or an option, because human, by the time you come to know, let's say you have set some trigger, some kind of alarm, and by the time that alarm rings and you get a notification and then you take an action, there will be a delay. Okay, so just to avoid that and to have a real time predictions, to real time inferencing, we opt for the machine learning. So in ML also, just like AI, ML, all these are there in all the industry: manufacturing, autonomous car, healthcare diagnostic, financial fraud detection, manufacturing for quality control, detecting defects or anomalies, issues. Okay, so it's very much useful in predictive analysis or predictive problems. So before anything goes down and impacts a business, it can analyze and predict so that action can be taken much in time. Okay. Same thing for when to use Gen AI. When large scale content creation is needed, when human creativity is augmented, when the task involves generating original text, images, videos, and all that, when content needs to be dynamically tailored for individuals. So basically, all it's talking in terms of the creative content, like personalized content, automating or enhancing the creativity, creating new content. Let's say you have lots of ideas in mind. You want to write a post on the social media platform, let's say on LinkedIn, and you have the ideas in your mind. You have some points are there. Now instead of composing the complete post, you can just give the points to the Gen AI, and it can generate the complete post for you, right? So it saves a lot of time and give you the best phrase also. Okay, GenAI use cases. So many use cases are there. Everywhere GenAI is being used, right? So it is a more creative in the image generation, more realistic image it generates. Same thing with text, audio, video, okay, 3D design. So it is so much useful across the industries. It is so much used. It can also summarize the text for you. Sum up, let's say you have minutes of meeting and you would want that it should give a sum up in just 5 lines. It can do that for you. Deep learning common use case. Now, deep learning common use case are more on the complex side. So when fast adaptive decisions are required based on the complex input. When automate feature learning is needed without manual input. When data is unstructured like images, audios, or text. Mostly deep learning works with the unstructured data. When the task requires understanding intricate patterns from large data set, whether it's image recognition, speech to text, video analysis, audio processing, medical imaging analysis. Okay, so all this, the medical diagnostic reports, the diagnosis which is done, that those images are analyzed by deep learning model, real-time translation, driver assistant, all this. Okay, so that's all about the introduction to AWS AI, ML. Not just AWS, in general, we discuss about what is AI, what is ML, what is deep learning, what is generative AI. Then we spoke about the AWS services and the comparison, like the same categories of services are offered in Azure also, the free tier account on Azure and AWS free tier account, and the use case of each of these terminology. Okay, so now I'll just pause here and open for QA. If you guys have any questions, you can post your questions and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. But hope you have understood the things, understood the basic concepts of AI, ML, Gen AI, guys. Any feedback, anything, just let me know so that can improve my delivery style to fit to your to adjust to your this one understanding level. Yeah, please go ahead.
Sorry, Sona, for interrupting.
No.
So I had a minor curiosity, I should say. Is there any way, like in practical, like in real life, is there any way or like to have like more like two models, like
Mm-hmm.
how to say, like essentially the data that these two models would be trained on is the same, but
Mm-hmm.
for like governance reasons, you might want to have well, this was my thought process. You might have like two different models, but bear in mind both models are identical. Like,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe I should outline the scenario. Let's say you have like a global company then, and because of government policy or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
the data generated in location X
Mm-hmm.
is not to leave that location at all.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you train to have like just one global model as opposed to like having, you know, a model trained for specifically for location X as opposed to the rest of the world?
Mm-hmm.
Um, like how would that situation be handled? Meaning, like, do you train two different models or will like consolidating one model
Okay.
bring new insights?
To
You get
answer
what I
your
mean?
question, what we can do, we can create multiple versions of the model.
Okay.
Now, for example, let's say we have a pre-trained model and you have now you said for governance requirement, two different location you want to deploy. Okay. The queries are, let's say the model is trained on the same data. It is like, let's say, generating the text model 1, same thing model 2 also generating the text, but the uh, input is going to be different. Your prompts are going to be different, right? In two different location. So those prompts, what you're giving to model 1 and model 2 should be only for that. It should not get leaked. It should not be stored anywhere, right? For security reason. So we can apply guardrails. That is one thing. Guardrail to our model. What we want to redact, what we want to filter, okay, all that we can define. And secondly, we can have different versions of the model. It's possible to create multiple versions of the model when you do the fine tuning. Let's say you have one global model, as you spoke about global, is we don't call it as a global. We have the main model. Let's say we have the main let's say foundation model. Now when I do the fine tuning to any of the pre-trained model, it will automatically create a new version of that. It will never disturb the original one. So I can create a new version for X location, new version for Y location. While my main model remains same, it is been trained on the same data. But I'm creating two different version for X location one, Y location, and I'm deploying in those respective location. Hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Anybody, any question can post it in the chat or can just speak here if you have any questions on today's session. Hope you all have understood the basics of AI ML. Any changes in the delivery style, anything, any comments, any suggestion, please let me know. Okay, guys, I guess we are done with today's session. So we are good to close the session. We'll catch up. All of you, take care. Bye-bye.
Well, that was day one, our expert talking about and giving the basic idea about AI, machine learning, generative AI in comparison. But as I said, this clip was taken back in a month back. So since then, what we have, based on the feedback, we have a lot more things have been added. So if you're interested in any of those, leave a comment and let me know what topics you want to see so that we can create or share more of those. So what's being added is the entire AI project lifecycle, including things like prompt engineering, RAG, LangChain, LangGraph, and then agentic AI, which is hugely becoming hugely popular as well. So what are AI agents, AI agent type, agentic AI, whole the workflow, different type of things related to agentic AI, the agentic AI lifecycle, including the low code, no code tools that are available to build if you're not a developer as well. We give you the entire this roadmap, including the learning path, the hands-on lab, the project that you need to learn agentic AI as well. Also, the real-world projects that you need. And as I said, on building an agentic AI, so you can share in your resume as well. So Also, DevOps and MLOps tools, as I said at the beginning as well, especially things like MLflow, Kubeflow, GitHub Actions, as well as deploying your machine learning models on containers and Kubernetes as well. So AWS, the AI in machine learning on AWS on Azure was already there, but we have a lot of demands coming from Google as well. So things like Google on Vertex AI, and within Vertex AI models or Model Garden and Gemini as well. So if you're interested on how to get 250K plus job in AI machine learning, and you to resolve your three things which are not confident to apply, or not getting interview calls, or getting interview call but not able to clear them, any of these challenges you're hitting, I run this 3-step framework where we go from making you expert to preparing you for resume, preparing your resume for interviews and LinkedIn, as well as the mock interviews as well. There's a free class I run. Check the description below, and I run it multiple times in the week. So check out, and we bring other experts as well. So with that, this Atul, I look forward to see your comment, what more you want to see, and I'll bring that part on for you with that. And otherwise, I look forward to see you in the free class or the next video. Take care. Bye for now.